Now I have to actually go. So Harwood, how are you? And so Franklin, how are you? Ray, show her back.
Hey, Harwood.
Welcome to the Zoom Test Kitchen where the magic happens live. Every Friday we're on air, testing tech to thrive. From screen share to breakout rooms, we push Zoom to its max. So sit back, relax, and let's see what's in our tech hacks. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. We'll dive into the settings, explore every single tab. Make sure your mic is clear, your camera not a drab. We'll show you how to host like a pro, manage like a king. With Zoom Test Kitchen, you'll be zooming with a zing. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. Whether you're new to Zoom or an expert in disguise, we've got tips and tricks. We'll open up your eyes. From polls to quizzes, we test functionalities. Join us live, see what Zoom does with ease. So if your meetings lag, or you can't share your screen, or if your audio echoes like you're stuck in between, we've got solutions, we'll show you how it's done. Zoom Test Kitchen, where Zoom fun has begun. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. So tune in, don't miss out on this tech fest we lead. Every Friday, Zoom Test Kitchen, where you'll succeed. We'll make your Zoom meeting smooth, keep the tech in check. In the Zoom Test Kitchen, we've got your back, no wreck. So tune in, don't miss out on this tech fest we lead. Every Friday, Zoom Test Kitchen, where you'll succeed. We'll make your Zoom meeting smooth, keep the tech in check. In the Zoom Test Kitchen, we've got your back, no wreck. These lyrics capture the essence of what the Zoom Test Kitchen does, focusing on testing and teaching about Zoom functionalities in a fun, engaging way. Zooming in, we're testing it all.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Zoom Test Kitchen. Sorry about that. That was my fault because I accidentally hit the mute button for David instead of letting Tamara in, and you'll see Tamara momentarily. So welcome, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the Zoom Test Kitchen. I will be starting today as host. I am Mike. As you know, I'm usually the host that usually takes over in the second portion, but David is going to be joining us momentarily, so do stay tuned. And I will start off by doing as we normally do with everyone. It's time to go around with everyone and let's see who's all joining us this week. And I'm going to start in alphabetical order, and you'll see Oh, I'm hitting wrong buttons again. There I am. Hello, Ray Harwood. There we go.
I
swear.
was wondering about that. Yeah. Hi, everybody. I'm doing well, and Yeah, just doing some final prep work for a 3-day session I've got next week for the International Academy of Nursing Editors, otherwise known by the acronym INANE. Oh, yeah. That's it for me.
Oh, that's it for you, Ray. Oh, sorry. That was awful quick. I wasn't ready for that. Sorry. All right, cool. Then I will purposely go to the other Ray, joining us from the infamous Florida, Central Florida. Mr. Franklin is back. Hello, Ray.
Hey, Mike, it's good to
Good to
be
have you.
here from the free state of Florida.
Excellent. How's it been?
It's all good. Been working, been happy, watching, of course, the playbacks, but it's not the same as being here. Happy to be here.
Excellent. Very, very cool. Good for you to join us. And the person that caused a little bit of grief for me, infamous Tamra. How are ya, Tamra?
Oh, you think you're the person who I cause grief for? My goodness, that is like my calling card. Just ask David.
There you go.
I'm doing
That's
great.
excellent. Good. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. And believe it or not, my other partner in crime, and he's got lots of tech up today on his screen, so he must be doing all kinds of wonderful things over there. Oh, and he switches cameras as I say that. Mr. Drinkwater, how are you doing there, sir?
Well, I'm in all of my buttons. Me, I can change camera. I just need to sort out the lighting so they look like they come from the same world.
Yes, and audio too. Make sure that your audio and follow video isn't on so that you don't cause yourself any grief too. As Mr. Ray Franklin just nodded as I said that. Yeah. All right. And who else have we got here? We got Liz. Liz, how are you?
Hi, everyone. I'm Liz, and this is my first time here. I am glad that I finally made it because I am going to have so many questions, but today I'm just here to be here and to soak this in and learn what I can.
Excellent. Good to see you. Excellent.
Thank
Welcome.
you.
Julie, how you doing, Julie? My other partner in crime on Monday nights.
Hi, I'm good. I'm here listening alone.
Excellent. Excellent. Way to go,
Thank
Julie.
you.
Thanks for being here. Cool. All right. So where shall we start off, gang? Shall we start off with issues this week? Was there any issues? I do have one topic that David did mention to me that we could probably touch on, is that it's been something that has come up in, I believe David heard about this in Discord, but if not, it's definitely been out there a little bit. It is related to Zoom status messages from the system. There has been in a lot of people's minds an extraordinary amount, meaning an extraordinary amount of status updates that we've been getting lately from Zoom. And I'm just wondering everybody's view on this as panelists. Do you feel that they are too much, too little? And on top of that too, do you feel that they are outages or not outages? Because this is a conversation I had with David too. So I will start with the alphabetically Ray Harwood.
Well, okay. First of all, I talked before a little bit about the newsletter that I'm going to put out on LinkedIn called the Zoom Navigator. And I was hoping to have a release notes issue out by now, but there's so much happening in the release notes area. And I've got a couple of things with some family members that we're taking care of. So it's going to take me an extra week to kind of get that out there. But in the process of subscribing to this service that I'm using, it shows me every change to the release notes that I'm following. It also sends me a note every time an entry in that status area changes. And I get between 2 and 20 of those a day. But I look at them and go, that's nice to know if I'm in one of those areas. Some of them are just Singapore or the Europe area, or, we're going to be doing some data center work or something like that. For the average person, They probably think it's too much and I don't need to follow that stuff, and they're probably right. For those of us that are what I would kind of refer to as Zoom pros, um, I like to know if there's something happening that might affect me or my clients. So I like it, but your mileage may vary.
Yeah, and that's very fair, Ray. And this is the conversation I had a bit with David too, is that it's best to make sure that when you do get these notifications from Zoom system that you actually don't assume that things are down because you got an email. They got to actually be updates in the regards of coming soon. We're going to be doing this, or we're making this modification in 24 hours. Because again, a lot of the emails are also targeted towards, as John and I have talked about very, very often, corporate installations. And one of them we'll actually be able to talk about it here momentarily when Frank joins us here momentarily. But
Well,
when it comes to, go ahead, Ray.
The other thing to keep in mind is it's a status update. It's not an outage tracker. And so yeah, if they're planning to do some sort of major IP address work or some sort of PBX work in a region, if you're out in one of those regions, you want to know about it in advance. And so that's the place. And yeah, it's kind of sad, I guess, that you have to kind of monitor these things in order to keep track of everything. There's no real way on there to go, I don't care about this region or that region or that region, but I do want to know these. There's not really a good way to individually subscribe. And I'm kind of looking at a way to maybe be able to do that for people.
Right. Go ahead, Tamara.
Listen, one of my main complaints about Zoom has always been that they're not as forthcoming with information to us, and the information they give us is so confusing and requires someone like Ray to translate for us. So on my end, I love any time they're reaching out to give us any kind of information, because I think that shows an insight internally in their communication that they know has been a sticking point for a lot of us. So I applaud them. I hope that things continue to get more clear, and so that there's less questions, and that their documentation is up to date as much as their as they're when they're releasing things, it gets up to date quicker. So I don't hate it. I think that any kind of communication that helps me like navigate their service is actually a positive, going in the right direction.
Right, exactly. All right, Mr. Frank, I think this would actually be a good time for you to say hello and then give your opinion on the status updates.
Hello. I don't know what you're talking about. I just got here.
So we are talking about the chances are feeling overwhelmed by the amount of status updates you're getting from Zoom when you hook up to their Atlassian-based service that they are setting out the email system to.
Gee, Mike, can I just jump in real quick? So
Yeah.
the feedback that I got in an email from someone was not so much just about the volume of email. It was about specifically the downtime that I subscribe to. I don't have them up right now, but I subscribe to get the emails for when Zoom has an outage or when they're down or something like that. And we get quite a bit. And I'm not talking about like the Asia sector. I'm talking about the North American sector. There are a lot of outages that we see. So that's what the question was about. And it resonated with me because I've also noticed that I get a lot of emails for those outages.
Okay.
Yeah.
But could some of that have to do with the fact that, like, I mean, we've been kind of hanging on Zoom, and Zoom has continued to get bigger and better, and that some of the excess in outages feels like it's a growing pains issue that you might see in any major organization. They've made some major behind the scenes changes to how they operate, which indicates that they're going to have to be updating across lots of different systems within their within how they operate. That's
right. Yeah. Ray, go ahead, and actually what you put in chat is actually good to actually add that right now.
The other thing is that in general, I haven't seen any recently that, oh my word, Zoom is down. Zoom is not down. The the translation of phone messages is being delayed, and those sorts of things. They're product outages and not necessarily even outages, but just issues. And to Tamara's point, they're being forthcoming. Look, we've heard some reports of some issues, and we're investigating. And on occasion, I think they probably go, "Oh, someone forgot to flip this switch, and it's all fixed." And the next thing you know, 10 minutes later, it's fine. The only time I really worry about anything is if I see there's 10 status updates over several days and something is still broken. And then I wonder, what's going on. And in many of those cases, they're upfront. They go, our alternative service provider in India is having an issue with their PBX system, and we're waiting on them to do a fix or something along those lines. So, I think it's good to be in the know, and appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. Over to host David.
So this is my inbox from Zoom today. I mean, not all of these are from Zoom, but so for example, this guy here is network maintenance in Saudi Arabia, and then down here, these are the ones, service degradation affecting whiteboard and task, another service degradation of another one. It's the same, and these are all in U.S. region affecting whiteboard. So I think that's what he was getting at. Just and this is not a critique of Zoom. Outages happen. It's just but something that you said, Mike, before we even got on, to me was really important, which I didn't realize, and that is that you're going to get a Zoom maintenance. It's going to come as Zoom maintenance, whether it's an outage or whether it's just scheduled update, which I didn't realize. Because I don't always open all of them. I just say, oh, they're down somewhere. But that's a really important point, that a lot of the time it's just, hey, we're going to be taking something like this network maintenance in Saudi Arabia. Hey, we're taking something offline, or we're making a change or something, and don't freak out if it doesn't work for you.
Right. Frank, over to you.
Another thing to consider with the status updates is they're going to give you an update every hour, basically, or even more frequently. So one issue may give you an update every hour until it's resolved, which is important for people like me, because I've got 30,000 people asking, why isn't this working? I need to know. So I want those updates. And finally, they'll say the issue, we've identified the root cause, we're working to fix it, or our partner vendors working to fix it. And then eventually they'll say it's resolved. And if you're really ticked off, you can call your rep and say, I want the RCA for why this happened.
Yeah. So again, that's why I said, Frank, this is the perfect topic for you to give your opinion on this too, because again, a lot of us are just, some of us just have pro accounts. Some of us actually do have multiple business accounts. But again, to the scale that Frank actually has to notify potentially his 30,000 licensees that, okay, you might not be able to do this for the next X hour or whatever.
Oh yeah, like in my situation, there are online courses, with hundreds of students in them, and like lots of online courses that aren't going to happen that day until that service is restored, potentially, right?
Right. And Frank is the main liaison for the whole university. So who else are they going to go to besides Frank going, Frank, is Zoom down? Again, they'll be that vague, of course, because they won't know any different, but it might be just a small subset of like where David was reading that all of a sudden then this is another important word too, is degradation, which means that it's not fully down. It means that there are portions potentially of that service. There might be certain features in that service that actually might be down. And that's a different word to also take into consideration.
It also matters, like your Zoom usage. Like I have clients who are having conversations with people globally. So if a data center is down in some country and they can't have a Zoom call with that person, like that's good to know. It doesn't mean they can't have a Zoom call with someone in North America or Europe, but maybe Asia's down or some part of Asia. So I mean, the people I work with are having conversations globally. So it matters to me about these regional outages as well, right?
Yeah. And again, too, a lot of the growing pains, as David, you mentioned to me too, has been phone related. And yes, the Zoom Phone is portion of the features of the functionality of Zoom is just taking off like a rocket too. Go ahead, Mr. Franklin.
In the data world, they have dashboards, and it makes this stuff easier to consume than a random list. And I wonder if that option is available.
Ah, good question. Good question. I'm wondering that so you're basically what you're saying, Ray, is that basically is there some way to be able to bring this into a main dashboard that you've already got?
Right. It's a display issue as much as anything else. Yes, you can say I don't want to hear anything about Asian, what have you. You can eliminate that stuff, but there's a big business in AI and creating dashboards so that it's easier to understand these displays.
Right. So let me go over to who am I going to first? David, go for you. I saw Ray Howard there too. So Dave, go for it.
Yeah. I just want to show. So if you go to zoomstatus.com, you can see basically all of their different tools or things, and you know where they are. Everything's operational. I don't know how detailed this gets. I mean, right now it's saying everything is operational. Maybe it is. I don't know. And then you can subscribe here. And this is probably where I subscribed when I went for.
You can do it graphically, though. It's a lot easier than these long lists.
Yeah.
It's very normal in IT world to be able to chart those things graphically.
Right.
That sounds like a great app to build.
Yeah, it is a great app to build. Go ahead, Mr. Harwood, and then I'll give my thoughts too. Go for it. Right.
Yeah, the one thing I guess I would add, I think there's some room for improvement, and I agree, a graphical interface that could look both geographically, perhaps along one axis and across products on the other axis, and you could very clearly see is, phone out across multiple regions, or is everything out across one app and that sort of thing. Keep in mind, I can't remember how long ago it was, but it wasn't that long ago that Zoom was actually hosting this page on a zoom.us domain. And when they had domain name issues, you couldn't even see the status of things. So they've at least taken that step of let's move it off to its own domain now, so that, unless the entire DNS system breaks, we should be able to at least update what's going on, and people should be able to know, because it doesn't really come through our data system.
Right. David, can you pull up that page for me again? Do you still have it handy?
I do, but hold on. I'm building an app real quick.
Attaboy.
Well, I have it. So,
all right.
But I want to say something. Zoom status page is hosted by statuspage.com, like lots of Fortune 500 companies. So it's hosted on another company's platform.
Right. So chances are, Ray Franklin, there is probably some sort of API system with your IT system already dashboard that, as long as you have, that it's an Atlassian system, which is what Frank is showing us right now, then you should be able to, if there's already a plugin for your dashboard that understands the Atlassian system that will bring in other companies that come from that same product, then chances are you should be able to get the same type of information you're looking for. But that is a great question. All right.
I have the, I don't know. Did you want this up, Mike? I have this up for you.
Yeah, no, I was just going to show at the very bottom, you can actually see what Frank is referencing, which is the company at the bottom of the page.
We get down there.
There you go.
There it is.
The Atlassian status page, powered by. So as long as that dashboard company or dashboard system that you're using right now has access to be able to pull that type of information from that company itself already, or might be already pulling from that company already, then it should be able to integrate it with no issues into your dashboard.
And sorry, you may have said this before. I may have missed it. So where does Atlassian get that data from?
Zoom is supplying it.
Yeah.
Zoom is okay. Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah.
It pulls from various servers. You have to make a relationship between your servers and status pages servers, and you have to give permissions. And there's a whole I set it up for where I work, as a demo, and then people said it was too expensive, so we didn't get it. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, Frank, it probably it's a client running on the server, right? That reports back data.
Yeah, you have to give permissions for communication both ways, and it's an app that runs on the server that monitors the health of the server. And if you're really geeky, you can get into the weeds and have each service defined and report.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, there's certain people that have access to Zoom's status page within Zoom, probably engineering, if not system administrators, network administrators that are constantly are the ones that are actually making sure that the information in the status page are up to date. Mr. Dave, what you got there?
And I'm just building an interactive interface of Zoom status.
Oh.
We'll see what it does.
So somebody's being really very AI-ish nowadays. Do you know this person?
Don't get
I've met
Dave
him.
started.
I
Yeah,
have met him.
He's lovable.
No, this is actually chat. I am lovable, but this is chat. Thank you.
You are
So wait,
lovable.
I told the story last night, but I'll just share it with all of you. That my I was in California earlier this week, and my brother and sister-in-law are both Googlers. My brother has his PhD in artificial intelligence from like 25 years ago. He's brilliant and stuff like that. So I was asking him how all this stuff works, which is pretty much what I ask him every time I see him. And he was telling me about Transformers, Transformer, the app called Transformer that apparently kickstarted the whole LLM thing. It like allowed them to. So Chat GPT stands for Chat Global to something, I don't remember, Transformer. So the thing that made GPTs possible is in the name Chat GPT. Pre-trained. I don't know.
You're so close.
Oh, you know what? Give me a break. It's
Generative.
Generative. What did I
Yeah.
say? Did I say general? Sorry, generative. My bad. In any case, all right.
That's why I said you're so close, Dave. I wasn't giving you heck. You're so close.
I appreciate
just
that.
felt
Thank
like-
you. So hey, I can give a quick report if you want.
Of course.
Yeah. So I've been working on this app called ShowHub, which I'm building for the rundown and stuff like that. Thank you.
Not to be confused
Love
with the ShowHub.
What?
Not to be confused with ShowHub that we use for the other shows.
Love that show hub too.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the not Mukana?
No.
Office hours show
hours show
hub.
hub.
Just mean that yeah, that's not. This is right. Gotcha. This is different. In any case, that's not the point. So the point is, I managed to get YouTube comments to come in. I managed to get Mukana comments to come in. I also wanted Zoom comments to come in. So I have this set up on the back end here so that I can connect a Zoom chat, right? So the idea here is that you connect your Zoom account as the host, and you put in the Zoom meeting ID, and then it will bring in read-only chat. So in order to do this, I had to create a Zoom app. So I went through and here it is. Wait, sorry. Where is it? There it is. So I have gone through the process now for the first time. John, I hope you're proud of me. I've gone through the process of creating an app, and every single question asking chat how to answer it. But and I got the initial review came back, and they actually didn't deny it, which really surprised me. They gave me a couple pieces of feedback, which I updated and did and implemented, and now it's back in what do you call it, under review. So it's once if the way you do this for anyone who's interested is the way I always remember to get it is just go to Zoom App Marketplace, and then in the bottom left once you sign in up in the top here, in the bottom left where my big fat head is, there's a little developer button down here. If you click on that, this will take you into your developer dashboard, and then this is where you can create a new app.
So
this
proud, Mr. Paskin. So
Yeah.
proud. Continue.
So, and there's some back and forth, like you have to get the client ID and the client secret and all that other stuff. And you have to put in the redirect URLs in from wherever you're building. But yeah, now again, this hasn't worked yet because it isn't approved yet. But hypothetically, John was right when he kept saying that anyone could build a Zoom app.
Stop.
Yeah.
Did you say Mr. Drinkwater's,
He might
knows what he's talking about?
Yeah,
David?
he might be right.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Now I'm going simple here. Like I just said, I just want read only. I don't need my folks to be able to interact with that
Right.
Zoom chat yet. But
Right. Yeah.
because that's apparently that's a whole different level of
Oh, yeah.
permissions to
Yep.
deal with. So in any case, that's my excitement.
I mean, that's
Good
what
stuff, David.
John does not look impressed at all.
No,
I've put him to sleep. Look at that. Look at his face.
He's
my
giving you a
God.
thumbs up. Like, come on.
David, let me take some stress away from you. You don't have to publish.
Yeah.
Because if you are using data which is coming to your meeting app, you can stay on development mode forever.
Yeah.
Well, but other people won't be able to use it on their account, with their account. You're right that I could use it with my account, although it still isn't working when I try it with my account. But if I want other people to be able to use it, then I have to. It's unlisted. It's not like it's an app that anyone's going to find in the marketplace, but it does have to be.
Yeah. If it doesn't work, you might find it hard to get through the next stage because they will want to be able to demonstrate and walk it through. However, the big however is if you write an app that does something like David's doing, and you're not taking advantage of the system by grabbing lots of personal information out of Zoom, the chance of you getting it approved is really high because you're not interfering with anything. In your case, David, you're only looking at the chat data. So as far as being a security risk is concerned, even if you have, with all said with love, if you even have a clumsy AI that's written your software for you, the fact is you haven't requested anything that's going to cause any damage. So you're low risk. So even if there is, it's and Zoom, if you go to the Zoom developers pages, you will see that they have markdown files for AIs to read on almost every developer subject they talk about now. They're really encouraging. You can see what David's done here. It's a fantastic. So if you think of Zoom's big marketplace, which is, with all due respect, not us, but the corporates, if a little corporate engineer gets asked to get a certain bit of data out of Zoom, and they can do this in a day or even less with an AI tool, it just makes the whole relationship between that corporate and Zoom so much closer and so much more efficient. So well done.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, John, I would agree with, one of the things I found, as you say, you don't have to publish it. I mean, Housemouth and I put together an app that we use in our respective environments to see if somebody's actually there. Right? We use face recognition coming through Zoom to see if somebody's actually there. Now, he and I are both on Macs, so we use the built-in frameworks on a Mac to look at the video, but it's not sending personal information anywhere. It's strictly for his MediLearn environment and my scouting environments. And, why publish it, to be quite honest with you, at this point.
Right, jump in.
And I guess I'd add there's a middle ground in there as well between publish and use it on your own system. And that is that if you have a client that says, oh, gee, I see what you're doing in your thing. Could I do that in mine? All they really have to do is go in and put in their own credentials with pointers to your app, which you would have to give them access to. And they could do it as well. So if you wanted to have something that only a handful of other people would be using, you could actually provide them with the information. They could set up the personal app to point to it. And then all you really have to do is sort of make sure that they don't publish that somewhere. And next thing you know, you got 15,000 people trying to get in.
Yeah.
That was good, Ray. But if you, with respect, you're out of date, my friend, because there is now in the developers console a system which I spent months trying to get working myself. Now they've done it for free for everybody. But there's a system now called a manifest. And what the manifest does is it downloads all the security settings and all the settings that it took to build your app. So what Ray described is correct, but we can go to another level now because you can download the manifest, you can send it to somebody else, and they can then create a manifest. They can then copy that manifest onto their marketplace. So they don't have to go through all the lines of code and the settings and the scopes and all the other things you need to define to make the app work. All they need to do is copy the manifest, put it on their system, and then you would give them their own personal, for their app, secret 2 codes, and they can then use it on their system, and it's not going to interfere with yours at all because it will be then like they've only got their own private version of your system. So like Ray said, but they've now added the manifest system. It goes at another level.
Easier now. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So here's when you just start the developer thing you've got, I didn't know what this was. I had no clue, so I just ignored it. Configure app via manifest file. If I click that, I don't know what's going to happen, but you can update your app by uploading a manifest JSON file. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to overwrite anything, but yeah. So that's what that is.
And that contains effectively all the data that makes up everything that you have on that marketplace entry. So all the settings that you can have, things you can turn off, you can save them in a manifest file, which means you can pick them up and you can give them to somebody else in another organization and they can set that up very easily. It saves, well, it's not just hours. It saves you missing a setting when you give somebody the data or them not putting in a setting and then the whole system breaking for, this weird reason and you don't know what it is. Now you can do it by the manifest files. It's fantastic.
Go ahead, Lois.
Well, is it time to change direction or are you still working on this one?
No, I think, we're ready to go. We're ready to go down the scope that Lois is ready to go have us go down. Let's
Lois's rabbit hole. Lois always bring rabbit.
Right. Yeah, let's do it.
So I got a camera set up, that one, and it's the something link. I keep forgetting the name.
360.
Thank you very much. And the problem is that when I turn it on, it's vertical, it's got the wrong dimensions, and I have to reset it each time. So here's the question. When we are in the waiting room, waiting for something to happen, is there a way to know whether your audio and video is on or off? Can you turn it off while you're in the waiting room?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
How do you do that? Because I don't have all the little things at the bottom like I usually do when I'm in Zoom.
Right. So where it is it's usually in the waiting room interface. It's usually the top left corner. And there you should have an audio button and a video button. And
Yeah,
that will let you.
I'm going to go ahead
ahead,
and yeah, I'll try and join. And this is going to be ZTK test. Okay. So there are a couple places. The first thing you can do is you can turn off your video here.
That's before you get in there. Yeah.
Let me put this in. All right, now don't let me in.
Yes, sir.
So here I am. So I can test my speaker and mic, but up here right by my face is the camera off, camera on. You can't turn mic off and on, and then you can set your background and effects right there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I can't quite see it. It's a little small.
So it's right up here in the waiting room.
I see it right on your shoulder.
Right there. Yep.
Okay. And that's stop video and stop audio.
So the audio, there is no stop audio because there's no one to talk to. So there's no audio. But unless you do the test speaker and mic, in that case, then you'll get this again.
Okay. And the little icon to the right of that, there was 3 icons, the ones with a
Yep,
person.
this is background and effects.
So I can put a mustache on before I walk in.
Exactly.
All right. That could be incommunicado. Well, that was
Now-
the shortest rabbit hole I think I've ever taken us down.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
And Lois, if you enable the screen before you going to the waiting room, there's even more configurations there as well. And you could actually turn on your video audio there as well. If you're familiar with that, that is I'm trying to remember, and John's making me laugh because he looks like a bunny right now, and I'll show everybody momentarily what he looks like. But Dave, you know what I'm talking about?
So I'm coming in again. So no, wait, not this one. Which do you mean?
No, not this one. There's one screen before that. So
no, that's only if no. So let me hold on a second. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
We have to go into our settings,
That's
which
right.
I can't. Here we go. So settings, general. You have to leave on. Oh goodness,
Yeah.
where is it?
I know you might want to do a search for it at the top, David.
I think it's under I know it's under meetings and webinars. Show
There you
video
go.
preview first. So if you have that on, and then you join a meeting, join the kitchen, then you'll get this pop up, and you can actually test your audio and your video. You can change your sources, your audio source. And then here's that, just always show this preview when joining. I never do this because I test my stuff elsewhere. But if you know that you want to check your audio and your video before you jump in, this is a great thing to check off.
Yeah, especially if the meeting does not have a waiting room.
Okay,
Right.
so if you look at my camera, my thing right now, if I turn this off and I turn it back on, that's what happens. It disappears. It's gone someplace else. It's pointed at something else. I'm going to have to go through the process of redoing it. So I'm going to leave, and I'm going to use what David just showed us and see if I can get the camera set up, and then I'll come and be in the waiting room. And then when I come in, we'll see if it held. So I'll see you later.
Before you leave, there in the Insta360, I'm looking for it and I can't find it for some reason, but in the Insta360 application that comes along with the camera, you can set presets, excuse me.
Right. And they don't hold. And I know, and y'all told me to go get a new updated version, which I did. And so I'm not worried about it, but I'm going to see if setting it before I get in here will hold long enough to get in and be with you.
So it's interesting because this is my Insta360 here. And you're right, when I first came in, so I'm going to change the camera. I'll go back to this. And then when I go back to the Insta, I mean, it sticks there, it stays there. But that is a preset that I set. So I'm not sure if that has anything to do with it, but
yeah. David, Ray made a good comment. And if this is the type of, does this camera have a bit of a PTZ capability into it?
Yeah, that's what it is. It's PTZ. Yeah.
Okay. So this model, so basically what you've got to do is make sure that you position the camera, because the PTZ cameras, even our cameras, automatically go to, when they start, they turn on and they go to a home position.
Right.
Right. So you've got to either do one of two things. A, you have to set up the camera so that it's actually looking at you in the home position all the time properly. Or B, you have to program the home position to be at the certain angle that you are currently. And
Or
that again
C,
okay.
If you don't turn the camera, like mine, so these two are USB. I've got the Insta360 right here, and then I've got an OBS-Bot behind me. So, and they're both the same. They're both the what do you call it? Oh, that one's following me. That shouldn't be following me. Hello, stop moving. Thank you. So both of these are plugged in to my computer, so they don't lose power, so they don't go home, right? So they're kind of, because they're kind of always on,
Right.
They essentially stay where I relatively where until I bump into them where I want them to stay. So that's part 3, perhaps.
Right.
So it looks at me, but every time I move it to someplace, it rotates to a vertical and has the wrong 1080 whatever. So that's what I mean by I have to get it set up before I get here. So I'm going to try going out, setting it up, coming back. The camera's home position is wherever it is pointed when I turn it off. I'm looking at the chat and Ray says she needs to set the camera's home position. It doesn't change it. Wherever it's pointed at when I turn it off or when I stop using it is where it's pointed when I start using it again. And you're muted, David.
I'm sorry. When you're done using it, Lois, does it go to sleep? Like, does it turn down?
If I shut off the controller app, then it goes to sleep and it turns down.
So when you do that, it's every time you turn it back on, it is going to reset it and rejigger itself. I'm not sure why it's going to vertical first, but one fix to that is to not turn it off. You know, again, that's kind of what I do, is I just leave it on. I'm downloading
when I choose a different camera, and then I come back to this camera. No, it doesn't go to sleep. It just goes weird.
Huh.
It's an amazing picture for what it's worth.
Yeah.
All right. I will be back. I shall return.
And I'm downloading the Insta software so we can take a look at it and play with it a little, see if that helps.
I got the newest one a week or two ago. What'd you say, Frank?
Insta360 Link cameras have software updates, but they also have firmware updates. You may not have the latest firmware.
Okay.
Right, and you should be able to update that. Boy, this is a big download. 1.25 gigs. You should be able to update the firmware also from the Insta360 Link controller. Is what it looks like. Let's see here.
I'm looking at the controller.
The camera has cache too that can be corrupted, so if you update the firmware, it clears the cache.
Yeah, good call. All right. Let me bring up the controller for everyone. It's coming. Give it a second. Allow.
I could share screen if that would help. I do have it.
Yeah, you could, if you'd like to, you can do that.
Sure. Let me get that open and then go to Zoom and say share. And I want that one. Okay.
So this is connected.
I am now sharing my Insta360 Link controller.
Right. Okay.
That's what it looks like.
Yep. And have you created any
and there's my preset.
Right.
And it's fine now. When I get it, it's like that and like that. And so then I have to go in and change the ratio and change the resolution to get it back to what it is. And then it does that. And then I have to go over here and tell it, no, come to me. Come to me.
Right.
Well, if it doesn't come to me, then I'll just have to do it by hand.
Well, it's clearly got something that blocks it. What is it blocking?
Oh, that's the monitor and the computer.
Okay. So it's in the follow me mode. And if you turn that off,
turn what off?
That you have a choice to have it seek or follow you. There's one of those functions that I think you need attention to. What model is that? Insta360.
Insta360 early. I don't know the number.
EA.
I've got the software on my machine. If this helps, it's loaded and it's connected to a camera now.
Okay.
If you call up the software, Lois, and you look
at the top right-hand corner,
you look at the top right-hand corner where there's a cog item for settings. Has it got a red dot by it?
When the settings are on, there's a red dot.
Okay,
No,
red dot means it needs update.
No. That's the close
It does.
button.
I've just checked it on mine. Red
No,
dot
no, no.
means update.
That's she was pointing to the close button. That was not a red
There
dot.
is no red dot when it's not
Right.
open.
And by the way, that's standard Mac. She's on a Mac, so keep that in
Yep.
mind.
So this is close, minimize,
Minimize.
and full screen.
Yep.
So where are we looking for the
cog is more
settings.
settings. It's in the top right hand, but
Here's
not
my
in the corner, but in the
settings.
top right hand. Yeah. And if you click on the About Us page, that'll tell you if you need an update.
Yeah, no, you and I are on the same one, and I just downloaded it, so we're
Yeah.
totally up to date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where is this thing about follow me?
So that's the AI tracking. If you get out of this, nope, get out of this. Yeah. In the bottom, see that you have those 4 buttons at the bottom. AI tracking. When you turn on AI tracking, it will follow you, right? See how
Yeah,
it just
it's
kind
not
of
on.
recentered? Well,
Yeah,
now
but
it is. You just turned it on.
It wasn't
right?
on.
Right.
Yeah.
No, so yeah, that's not what's happening with you. That's not AI tracking. It's really weird. I don't know why that's
Take it back, get another one.
Yeah, the
Take it
only
what?
other
Is it still under warranty? Take it back, get another one.
You know what you might want to do? I mean, just before you do that, that's not a bad idea.
You might want to turn the base round because it has its natural central place where it likes to go. Maybe you've got it screwed on and it's facing backwards and not facing directly towards you.
I mean, the thing is though, mine isn't facing toward me either. Mine is facing sort of that way, and I don't have that issue. I don't know. It's. You might want to try like a factory reset or something before you return it, just to see if that's.
I don't think I can return this thing. It is, well, it was when I got it when I was doing birding with Lois, and that would be 2020.
That was a while ago. No, that's
2022.
You probably can't do that. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to leave and come back and see if I can get it set like this, like it's supposed to be. And when I come in, see if that makes it different. Oh, here's a test. I'm going to turn off my video and turn it back on in Zoom. Turn off, turn on in Zoom. And there,
Look at that.
There it did it. Just turn it, just going to a different camera, turning it off, turning it on.
All right, I'm going to do the same thing. So this is my Insta360. I'm going to turn this off.
Is it something stupid like auto framing is on in Zoom?
That is really strange.
Yeah, Peter's got an interesting thought. It could be that the camera and Zoom are fighting each other for who should be actually framing the picture.
Yeah.
But Zoom doesn't do pan tilt zoom.
It does in software. It does. Not great, but it does. And if
I'm going to try a different camera. Now there's the different camera. Zoom's not doing anything to it.
That camera's probably not a PTZ.
It's not.
Then it can't move. Only cameras that move can be affected by this.
So I was trying to get a better looking camera, but I think I'm just going to give up and stick with this.
Well, but you know what? Sorry, I just tested the same thing you did. It's not facing me. I'm not going through any other software, and it did not move on me. That's really weird. When I turned off video and turned it back on, it's a good look, Lois. So I wouldn't give up. I would try a firmware reset.
So okay, I'm going to share screen again, and I'm going to have you look at the thing again, and you're going to show me where the firmware reset is.
And I would also, just as someone said before, just make sure the base is facing you.
Well, it didn't seem to make a difference. I mean, if I do that, I have to bring it closer because it's running into the monitor, but
A
The
lot of
tail
cameras,
goes out the end.
a lot of cameras have a home position though, so it does kind of matter where the base is.
Right. Right. So turn off and on your video again. Let's see if it moves now that you've
Okay,
turned
hold
it
on.
physically. I'd be willing to bet it won't.
The Geek Squad, how much do they
Oh,
charge
hold
an
on.
hour?
That's I'm looking at the wrong camera. Let me turn back to this camera. Okay, so now there it is. I'm turning it off. I'm turning it on.
Yeah. So keep having the base facing you does help a little.
Okay, I'm going to try a different camera and then come back.
Yeah.
Different camera. And then coming back.
There you
And
go. So it looks like it was that home position issue.
yeah, I don't get why it was doing the vertical thing though.
I agree. That's weird.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes,
Are you using a USB hub?
I am. No,
Huh.
no, wait a minute. This one is. I can't tell if this is directly into the computer or
right.
to a hub.
Lots
I can
of
go
times
check.
hubs can screw up communication with cameras and microphones.
Okay. All right, I'm leaving now. I'll be
There
back.
you go. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
There you go. If you're using one of those PTZ cameras, either the Insta360 or the OBSBot, remember that there is a home base.
Wait a second. Did you say PTZ?
For you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I did.
He loves their Canucks. Attaboy,
It makes me
Dave.
actually feel smart. It makes me feel smart when I say Z instead of Z.
It's like you're listening to the BBC or something.
It is.
Or
Listen to
Sky
the beep.
Sports today. Your choice.
Hi, Liz. From the Washington State Department of Health.
Hi, everybody. This is my first time here. I'm just here to soak in things. So I truly am just now beginning to learn Zoom beyond like logging in to a meeting or like setting up one just with the basic free account and then getting kicked out after 40 minutes and clicking back in on the same link. Like that's about my expertise level right now. But I am so I facilitate several community work group meetings mostly using Zoom. And I've always had the gift of an amazing tech support person who was part of a contract that our agency used a consulting firm to support a lot of different spaces. That contract has just ended, so I am learning to do it myself now. We have a lot of different access needs in some of our groups. And so most of my questions are around that, just wanting to make sure I really understand all the accessibility features. And especially like how they can work on people who are joining like on differently formatted tech. Like we found out in our last meeting that one thing worked for someone who was joining from a laptop that didn't work for someone who was joining from their iPad, stuff like that. So that's kind of where most of my interest is right now, but I'm just going to be around to learn all
No,
the
that's
things.
great stuff, Liz. Welcome. It's so good to have you here. What can you tell us a little bit more about the accessibility pieces? Is this translation? Is it a transcription? What kind of
Thank
navigation?
you. Yeah, thank you for asking. It's all of it, really. I think what I'm familiar with being used, although I have not done the work to set it up or support it in the meetings that I facilitate so far. People are, we don't have cart transcribers anymore, but people are using the auto transcription that Zoom provides. Yes, with mixed satisfaction levels there. But there's that. Right now, we're not needing to use the interpretation channels. But I'd like to be really competent in knowing how to use them when we do need to. And I'm gonna just need to take time to go through guides and teach myself stuff. Um, but I'm also gonna learn from people who know what they're doing. So someone just told me about this group and I'm just here to check you out.
Well, that's kind of us. Oh
Yeah.
God, John, she just gave you an idea for a new app. What? What
Yep.
app, John? What do we need?
Yep. I've already got a game show app, and she's just given me an idea for another game show app. So
all right, there we go. Frank, go ahead.
So good, even David, you could probably do it, but I might do
doubt
this
it
one myself.
I doubt it. What do you got, Frank?
For Liz, I'm going to put a link in the chat for you. And what the link is, it shows you whether you're on a desktop, mobile, what the differences of the platforms are. The most fully featured Zoom experience is on a computer, Mac and Windows. Once you leave Mac or Windows computers and you go onto mobile devices, iPads, cell phones, you get less features. The desktop client is the most full featured experience. So if someone doesn't have a computer, like I always tell people, if the meeting's important to you and you happen to have access to a computer, join Zoom on a computer. But if you can't do that for financial reasons or other reasons, then it's good to know what's going to work and what's not going to work.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Do you know, does the type of Zoom account that a meeting was set up on, like the strength and the fanciness of that, does that affect?
Yes. So
Okay.
So what happens is the host of the meeting,
Yeah.
everything about the meeting relies on the host's license, whether it's free or paid. If you're the host, everyone else rides on your license. So
Okay.
the features are whatever the host features are.
Okay.
And whatever the host has enabled or disabled for that
Good
specific
point.
meeting.
Yeah, good point.
Okay.
Yeah. Lois, I'm going to ask you to hold on for 1 second, just because we're in the. Yeah, thank you. Ray, go ahead.
Liz, the other question I'd have for you is, do you know about your overall organizational Zoom account? Is it just a couple of pro or business licenses, or do you have an enterprise license that could be larger? And sometimes knowing the size of your organization will help us help you.
Oh, thank you for asking. So I don't have a quick, clear answer to that. I know that we do not have an enterprise-wide license. I actually am, we also don't, my program also does not have a budget, honestly. And so we're not able to get one dedicated for us. So I'm partnering with another program now, just trying to learn to use Zoom and figure out what it is that we need when we can get one. Yeah.
Cool.
Enterprise brings with it a lot of goodies and goodness, but it's not necessary. You can get a lot of the function. I would argue 99% of the functionality, perhaps, on a pro plan, or even at this point a business plan. Because now that you can buy single business plans, that's maybe even the best way to go.
The thing I'm thinking about, David, is like the translated captions features and that sort of thing. If you've got a larger license, you're not paying $50 a year for each person to use that. It's kind of built into the overall.
That's included in enterprise?
I believe that it is. I mean, they give you a fully functional, like if you get the Business Plus account, it's included in that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, I mean, I actually went from Business to Business Plus because it includes phone and translated captions and some other things. So you're not paying extra for those. And I saved $5 or $7 a month to go to the Business Plus account. But yeah, so again, I'm trying to think in that bigger picture of, you probably have more people who would like to take advantage of some of that assistive technology and so forth. And it would be great if you could have that available for everyone on the account, but knowing a little bit more about how your account is set up will help somebody.
Can
Yeah.
you, I'm not seeing the Business Plus as an option on here.
Well, because you have to go to phone. Go to the phone plans.
Oh, that's weird. Okay. Pro Plus, Business Plus. Okay. That's so interesting. Why? Huh. Okay.
And no, you don't get a telephone if you go to Webinars Plus. That's a
Right.
whole different
Unlimited
animal.
whiteboards. And you get the translation and stuff.
Yes, I believe that was the case.
Liz,
Okay.
do you have someone in your organization who is really good with Zoom?
She's it.
She's it.
Yeah.
Okay, so my question then would be to the panel, is managing an enterprise account, a business plus account, all those things, is that more difficult than just managing your own, pro account?
There's more knowledge required to do it
Yeah.
effectively. But the reality is, if it's so complicated and so much more intense, could Frank manage 30,000 people? I think, once you get to the point of maybe 20, 25 people that you're trying to kind of get all lined up together, the increasing largesse of your organization doesn't necessarily make it that's more complex.
But if you ask me, if it sounds to me, Liz, like you're not going to be purchasing a business plan for 25 people. You have no budget. So
No.
it sounds to me like you'll be lucky if you get a pro plan for you.
Exactly. Like
yeah.
the last community meeting we held, the only reason I didn't have to cancel the meeting was because the weekend before I went and I bought a pro plan on my own dime.
Yeah.
And gave people the link, which we had trouble with because not everybody was able to use the features that they were used to having on the larger, better
So what were
license.
they not able to use? Because with a meeting pro plan, again, it's really meetings are meetings. Whether there are some things that are like, for example, if you have a business account, you can have Q&A in meetings, and you don't get that on the pro plan. So there are some things that you get, but generally speaking, a meeting is a meeting.
Okay.
And so really the only way that a meeting will look different from one meeting to another, there are two different things. Number one, are they using a different device? Are they on like a mobile device, or are they just watching on, in a browser? And number two, what are the settings that you've set up on the back end? Those are the two things that can really change a person's experience, I think.
Yes. And so I don't know what the license type was that our contractor had been using, but it was a big, powerful, very expensive one. So we went from like primo stuff to, just the basic like $17 one from me. And everyone who
Liz,
joined.
sorry, just so you know, Liz, if you're not using phone and webinars and clips and workplace, like if you're not using, I'm not saying you shouldn't, if you're not using all that other stuff, then again, a meeting is a meeting.
Right.
And it kind of doesn't matter what phone you have.
What were they missing? What were they saying?
So everyone who joined from so in this particular meeting, we have ASL, American Sign Language interpreters, and several folks who are deaf. And in this particular meeting, everyone who joined from a computer, either desktop or laptop, Mac or otherwise, was able to get everything they needed from it. We have at least two people who join from different kinds of tablets, usually because that's the tech that they have. And they always join from those tablets. One of them, well, they both are used to being able to get the ASL interpretation channel to show up for them on their tablets. But in this last meeting, which was the first one that we did on just my account, the person who uses an iPad was not able to access that channel. And he kept insisting that there was something wrong in my settings. I am not, I mean, that's possible. And I know that that is possible. I followed the instructions in Zoom to set it up. That way, I happen to know that it's a much older iPad. But it is the tech that he has and is willing to access for those meetings. So I am not convinced that it was on my end, although it might have been, and I'm going to keep trying to figure that out. But I was wondering, like, are there other possibilities? Like maybe it was I need to do something different. Maybe it's just his iPad's getting a little too old for this. Or maybe there was a limit in the just like the type of license I had just wouldn't work for that. But it sounds like that's not the case.
I don't
Can I
think so.
ask when your last meeting
oh.
was where you had the issue? What
Yeah,
time?
it was about 5 weeks ago.
Okay, so that predates 7.1.5, which had some updates to it. Yeah, I was just trying to maybe there's an update that affected the iPads.
Oh,
I've got an older iPad as well, and it does 99% of things, but there are a couple of things that it kind of doesn't do. So I'm familiar a
yeah.
little bit with that. So, but that every once in a while, when an update goes through on the iPad, something that Zoom had accommodated very well now doesn't quite work the same. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Go ahead,
Okay.
Tamara.
I was just going to say, make sure they're completely up to date on their Zoom app. So that's one thing. It could very well be a setting because there's lots of, especially with accessibility on the back end. If you go onto the website, sometimes there's just things that get clicked off specifically for things. So it could be that. And then it can also just be older iPads are being phased out. So depending on when they hit in that cycle, then there
Yeah.
are just things that iPad users have a wackadoodle experience. And I use an iPad on occasion, and it is like nothing feels at all like a regular Zoom meeting. So, in that sense, you probably you can solve 99.9% of those problems, but you can't solve all of them because the iPad experience and the phone experience, and everybody loves coming in on those devices to my chagrin. They just, it's not a good experience. It's not the best Zoom experience, but there wouldn't be anything, David's right. There wouldn't be anything different in terms of the actual meeting, because a meeting is a meeting, whether you have, like I have a regular account, I have a pro account, and I have a business account. There's not, the difference is how long can I keep them running, right?
Okay.
And now they have a basic account, which lets you do an extra 40 minutes.
Yeah.
3 times a month or whatever.
Frank,
So
Liz,
the
just so
meeting
you know-
itself is like
Sorry.
the thing.
Sorry, Frank just popped in the chat. Thank you so much, Frank. The requirements for viewing sign language interpretation.
Yeah.
So for iOS, which would include iPads, they have to be on 5.12. Now we're already on 7.1.5. So
Okay.
it's very possible that, although if he's never updated it, a lot of people just never even think
Yeah.
to update. So that's a requirement.
Okay.
The other thing, and I wonder if, I don't know, maybe Ray, if I don't have the Zoom app installed and I click on a Zoom link to join a meeting, will it open in Safari on my iPad, or will it force me to download the app?
I don't think it will ever force you to download the app. I don't know if it would default to opening up in Safari because I've never had Zoom off of my iPad when I tried to do that.
On what your preferred browser is on your Mac also, because you can tell it anytime it's a website, go to Chrome or go to Safari. That's a choice that you can make.
But I mean,
Pardon?
specifically on an iPad, I know that it does that on desktop. I'm wondering if perhaps, Liz, he wasn't even using the Zoom app. I wonder if perhaps he clicked on the link on his iPad, which is what I would do if I didn't, and I wonder if he was joining the meeting through a browser on his iPad, which would, I think, drastically change what he was able to experience in the meeting. I wonder. I don't know.
Which is
Thank
currently
you.
always WebKit, meaning Safari. even if it says
Okay.
Pro.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank
Liz,
you so much.
did you
Although-
pre-register people, or did you just send them a link and it's just like a regular old meeting?
Just like a regular meeting, just send them a link. Yeah, and for this particular group, unless I have to for some really, really important reason, it's the kind of thing where I don't want to pre-register things, don't want to pre-register people for it because I want people to have last minute access. So you can see Washington State Department of Health. So I'm working for a government agency, and pretty much everything I had is a public record. And you know, this is a group centered on supporting folks who may not want their names to be on a list for a public record request right now.
And it
So-
is better that you don't pre-register them. The reason I asked is that sometimes if you pre-register people, it actually won't give them the option to join through a browser. It's like it's harder to get there, so that can sometimes hang people up. That's why I was asking.
Okay.
Thank you.
You all
Frank?
have been super helpful. Thank you. And thank you for keeping the talk at like my not very advanced tech level
Liz,
person.
we're all at the
Like-
same level here. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
I hope you'll come back, Liz,
why we're
even
here.
if you don't have a question. Just
Come
please
back
I'm gonna-
anytime. Yeah.
I'm gonna come back to just listen and learn. Yeah.
Frank, did you want to jump in?
Yeah, I was going to say I put a link in the chat for a pretty good getting started to learn Zoom guide.
Awesome.
But what I will say is, if you have a family member or a friend or a coworker, practice being the host and learn the host tools. If you're publishing links to things and you're not pre-registering people, there's a good chance you'll get Zoom bombed. Practice your response to being Zoom bombed. Learn how to stop the meeting, like how to pause the meeting, how to turn everyone's cameras off. Practice that scenario so that if it ever happens, you know how to thwart it.
That's a really good call.
And-
Thank you. That's one of those
And
things
make
that
sure
I've
you
kind of
have, make sure you have at least 3 people. I'd say 4 is better because there are some things you cannot do with only 2 people. So when you're practicing
Yeah.
your host capabilities, you want to have enough folks.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
That's what the Zoom test kitchen got started for, is so we could practice on doing all the Zoom things.
But you know, Liz, if you or anyone else who's watching, by the way, because we're streaming on YouTube, if anyone wants to practice those host skills, come on by. You got more than 3 people here. We're happy to, kind of be your guinea pigs. So definitely.
And we
come
can
on
do
by.
breakout rooms and everything.
Yeah, we can. We can break Zoom like the best of them.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we're good at.
That's what we're good at. Liz, check the chat. I sent you it. Text.
Oh, I see it there. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Y'all are great.
Bye,
Thank
Liz.
you.
Or stay or don't leave. You don't have
Okay.
to leave. Whatever you
I'm
do.
going to turn off my camera so I can eat my lunch, but
Eat your lunch.
y'all are
Enjoy.
awesome. Thank you.
Enjoy. All right. What else we got going on?
We're doing good. We're doing good, David. Did
I
you
came
have
back.
anything?
Oh, yeah. So
yes,
any
that's right.
update?
Lois, continue. Sorry. Yes.
Any update, Lois? On
So
the
yeah,
the
when
campus?
I left, I had it all set up just like this, and then I came back in, and it did the vertical thing, and then I put up my hand, I put down my hand, and when I went to speak, it suddenly switched itself around.
So
I think I have a gremlin.
You paid extra for
putting-
that.
putting the hand up is the gesture to have it start or stop tracking. So technically, I think it's an L, but I think, if you go like this, it'll do it also. So if I do this to my hello, pay attention. It's not paying attention right now, but generally
But it's not
speaking,
on. I mean,
if you go like
focused on
this, then it will turn tracking on or off. And that's
I
also
don't
how you
think so.
Zoom. No, it is. No, it really is. Yeah.
Loser.
That's how you do it. Why are you all making fun
But
of
you
me?
have to be looking at the camera, Lois. You have to be
Yes.
looking at the camera for it to know. No,
on.
straight on. Right.
I'm looking at it.
Focus. Pay attention to me.
It's got a green light around it, so it's
Yeah.
looking
Oh, I
at
have
me.
hand gestures turned off. That's why mine isn't working.
Yeah, I never have hand gestures on. Yeah.
Right. But if you have them on, it should.
But I don't.
Well, there you go. Okay.
There you go. Anyway, thank you for doing that. And that was a very interesting discussion with Liz.
Right now, I
Hi,
want
David.
to know why. No, I want to know why. Oh my God! Stop it. I had oral surgery yesterday, and my mouth hurts so much.
Well, then don't laugh. Are you okay?
I'll survive, but it was yucky. I did not enjoy it at all.
And yet he's here.
And yet he's here. I care so much.
That's dedication.
He wants to be diverted. It's a diversion.
Hey, I'm looking at my participant list, and next to me, and next to Lois, and next to Ray and John, I see the little
note taking.
Yeah, the transcribing pencil.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, Lois, did you turn something on?
That's been on for about a week. Every time I go into a meeting, it does this thing.
You do? Okay.
And so it's.
But in this meeting, did you tick something on to turn on?
No, it automatically comes on every time I go open a meeting or go into a meeting.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Start my notes every time a meeting starts.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you
it's
all,
my notes. Yeah.
You all gave me advice on how to make a spreadsheet of all of my contacts. So I have little pieces of paper and I was going to read them. And I was told, go to a Zoom meeting and then make it transcript and make the thing. So it worked. It wasn't as simple as I thought it would be, because I did that and I tested it out. I read 5 things and it worked. But then when I wanted to read more, it doesn't add anything to the existing spreadsheet. It recalculates the entire thing using the old data and whatever was added today. And so it's not going to be as easy as I thought it was, but it did work. Thank you very much.
There you go. Hasmik is asking about ShowHub. So I don't really want to dwell on it because it's not Zoom, but he's asking, do you use it with Ecamm, Zoom production? Does it join the meeting? No, it's none of that. This is nothing more than a dashboard for panelists. That's really all it is. The idea, it's kind of, think about Mukana, but minus the questions. So it's because the show that Tamara and Lois and I do is not based around questions, but we do bring in, for example, YouTube chat, and we did need a place where we could all chat and stuff like that. So this is kind of like just a different type of Mukana, is I'm sure much more complex and detailed than this, but this simply has a place for show notes. It's got the hand raising feature, the call on me feature, and then a bunch of other modular. It's also modular, so you can decide what modules you want to have up. You can bring in your own web pages if you want, as custom embeds, stuff like that. So that's all.
It makes it so we don't have to have 8,000 windows open, and we can have one window open.
If you want to take a look at it, I'm happy to give you a thing. Just drop me. Actually, if you go to showhub.online, I think there's a button somewhere that says test out the beta. So feel free to pop me an email or something. It's not like it's a toy at this point. So
it's not a toy to us, Dave.
It's not a toy.
It's a very useful tool for the panelists on that show.
Great. Thank you.
David,
I want one for my show.
Okay. You can have one.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mike, what were you saying?
Yeah, David, we have a question from a David in YouTube. He says, sign language interpretation added to a meeting or webinar by the host Zoom desktop web apps. And he was given all the different, you have to be at least 5.1, 5.11 actually is what he's saying.
Wait. Say that again. I didn't catch the whole thing.
Yeah. So again, David on YouTube, which I think we know this, David. Sign language interpretation added to a meeting or webinar by the host. And then the different versions of it was Zoom desktop has to be at least 5.11 for Windows, 5.11 for Mac. Zoom mobile app for Android has to be at least 5.12, and iOS has to be at least 5.12 as well.
I think he's trying to help Liz.
Yes, that was related to Liz with the sign language interpretation.
Gotcha. Thank you.
And also,
that's David Brady.
Yeah.
Hi, David Brady.
Yeah. So again, I don't know if we actually talked about this with Liz too, but that the sign language interpretation is an add-on, right?
So, well,
no, I don't think so. It's accessibility, and Zoom's usually pretty good about accessibility.
Yeah, it's I don't think it's an add-on, because even just like on the, the most basic pro account, the $17 per month one, it's like the function was there, just not for the person on the iPad.
Well,
okay.
you get captions.
Right.
Captions are free. Translated captions are an add-on, or you have to have a premium account, because they're considering that translation, which is not an accessibility issue, right?
This new thing called live translation, which we were playing around with last week, I think. So for $5 a month, you can get live audio translation and translated captions that enable multilingual communication. This is what we were playing around with, but I think that just captions can be in different languages, maybe.
And David also stayed there too, because Liz also was talking about ASL too.
Zoom also supports CART if you have a CART provider.
Sorry, what's that?
Yeah.
CART.
What's CART?
Yeah, CART. It's communication access real-time translation. It's like it's a live stream of like super fast text. It's basically like live captioning, only done by a real human who's highly trained in doing it. Wow. It's generally much more accurate than any of the auto services or anything like that.
So we have a gentleman here who's very often in the kitchen with us, Liz, who runs a translation service. He does, this is his job, and we've talked a lot about the differences between the Zoom translation, the AI translation, and the real person. One of the things, so he and I were testing this out last week. He was speaking Polish to me, and one of the things that we noticed is that although generally speaking the translation was good, first of all, it lacked, when his voice went up at the end of the sentence, the AIs didn't. So it lacked inflection. And also every once in a while, like the translation said something about my mom, which he had not said. So there was something funky going on there.
Oh, I'm glad to hear you all saying that, because actually one of the main things that my team at work does, we are our agency's language access team, basically. And I'm glad to hear this, because I just want to caution everybody. AI is far from being advanced enough to be trustworthy, especially if information is actually important for people, or if they're like real accountability things that are important, like in the information that is shared. Absolutely don't trust any of those automated forms. It can be dangerous in some situations. So,
but hey, by the way, just so you all know, I just noticed this. So I don't remember seeing this before, and I don't know why, but the toggle up here for add-ons for annual, save up to 60%. And check this out. Live translation goes from $5 a month to $4.17 a month. But look at Zoom Enhanced Media. Zoom Enhanced Media goes from $25 a month to $10 a month. That's a crazy savings. Sorry, that blew my mind.
They're also getting you to buy your account annually then. So instead of $17 a month, it's what, $145 a year or something?
Yeah, no, you have to have an account for any of these add-ons, of course.
I know, but some people have an account and they pay monthly.
Okay. Right. So then you wouldn't want to buy an
So then-
add-on, for the whole year.
So that may be why Zoom is willing to do these discounts, is that
Yeah.
gets you with your original account into an annual setting.
I mean, there's your 60% off right there for the Zoom enhanced media.
Yeah.
Which I know a lot of us like. That's an amazing deal. But that live translation that we were playing with goes under $417 if you do it for, which is what, $50 a month, not even?
Yeah.
Something
And
like-
David, before you
50
leave
bucks a
there,
year.
also show Liz the ASL.
Yeah, where is that? I don't see that anywhere.
ASL's is part of your regular license.
Yeah, it's included.
Yeah.
Okay.
Y'all are awesome. Thank you.
So here, sorry, translated captions is
That's not,
included.
but that's not ASL.
No, I know. Translated captions is included if you're on an enterprise plan, because everything is included. No, that's definitely not. I would just, sorry, I didn't mean to. But I'm wondering, I'm looking for some of the other stuff. Some of the other automated captions. No, that's not it.
So click on see more features.
Oh, is that, you think it's down here? Okay, screen
Might
sharing.
be.
No.
No, it's not.
Also host controls, co-annotation on, no. No, wait a minute, no. Dear Lord. Polling. I'm just looking for accessibility to see what kind of accessibility they have here. Language interpretations. So the meeting host can designate interpreters on pro, business, or enterprise plans. So that's not included with free plans, but it is included with any paid plan. Touch up, original sound. That's it. Okay.
David, where did you see that Zoom Enhanced Media is $10 a month?
So if you go down to workplace add-ons, and find the what do you call it? The thing
Zoom Enhanced Media.
And then right above this thing, there's the little tick box for annually on the
Is
top
that
right.
on the is that on the pro plan or the business plan?
It's an add-on.
It's
Doesn't
an
matter.
add-on, so it doesn't
But when
matter.
I do look at my add-on, it says $20 a month when I put it annually. I want it for $10 a month.
Really?
Yes. I'm like, that's why I'm wondering. Because mine, when I go to add it and I press add on,
Oh, you know
it's
what?
$20 a month.
No, I'll tell you why.
Tell me why.
Oh my God. I'm the luckiest sucker in the world. I'll tell you why. Because when I first purchased Zoom a gazillion years ago, I purchased it through what's it called? That thing that nonprofits.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Oh, TechSoup.
TechSoup. And I got 50% off of my plan. And ever since then, I've gotten 50% off of everything I purchase in Zoom.
I have TechSoup.
And so this, I don't know this for sure, but I'd be willing to bet that because I'm logged in. In fact, let me try this. Let me log out. Let's see. And let's see if it changes. Sign out of all accounts.
You got me excited there for a moment.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's fine. I really need it to be $10, but whatever.
Zoom.us and pricing. And we'll scroll down. I'd be willing to bet that that's what that is. Zoom Enhanced Media. Yeah, that's what it was. I apologize.
Okay. I got excited there for a moment.
Oh, and look at
the
this.
one thing I need to add on to my account.
And look at that. It's interesting. So the annually save changed to 27%.
Right.
So, or I don't know. I guess that's what it is. I guess because I was, yeah. Oh my God. All right. I apologize, everyone.
It's okay. It's all good. Not that I'm sad or anything.
Okay. To log in again. What else is going on, folks?
I was hoping it would work because I had to cancel one of my pro accounts so that I can afford to add this other thing on there. Like, see, they're losing money from me.
Yeah. Zoom virtual agent. Never miss a call again. Free for 30 days. No license needed. Cancel anytime. Should I get a virtual agent? Does this mean I'm getting phone if I do this?
But what does it do?
I don't know. Wait,
Over to you,
why am
Mr. Harwood.
It's telling me I have to pay. I don't want to pay. I want the free deal. What's going on?
You'd have to get phone first, I think.
Log back into your other account.
Oh no, here it is. Yeah. So, oh, I see what's happening here. Boy, that's a little sneaky. So look at this. So I have here Zoom virtual agent, never miss a call again, free for 30 days, start free trial. And then you first have to get a Zoom phone plan for $18 a month. And then down here, you get the free virtual agent.
What would you do with an answering machine if you didn't have a phone line?
Okay. I'm slow. I apologize. Oh, well, I got excited.
Please leave your message at the sign of the tone.
The question that you have to ask, David, is if you found some value in it enough to actually get a Zoom phone and you used it for 30 days, what's the cost after that? Do you want to know?
Sure.
30 cents a minute.
For the virtual host.
For the virtual agent.
Virtual agent. And what is it? So can you explain, Ray, what the virtual agent does?
You can basically have the virtual agent be given websites, uploaded PDFs, all of that stuff. Everything about your company, everything about everybody in your company, everything your company does or whatever. And the virtual agent knows that. And when the virtual agent is used to replace your main phone number agent, the virtual agent goes, "Hi, I'm, pick a name. Sal, your virtual agent. What would you like to know?" And it will answer questions. And more. You can actually give it directives that if they say, I want to speak to a sales agent, they'll go, we'll transfer you to a sales agent, that sort of thing. But it's basically AI interactive for phone callers. And my understanding is that there will be an SMS interface to it sometime before the end of the year.
I'm going to set up a horoscope service that you call into, and it'll tell you your horoscope for 75 cents a minute or something.
Like it.
All right.
That's a horror.
I'll add a couple of things because I've read about it. I haven't actually done it yet. That you can actually use it to authenticate people and require them, if you want to find out, are you who you say you are, have them enter a cell phone number, send them an SMS text message that they then have to click on so that Zoom knows that you're actually talking to the person that you're supposed to be talking to. So there are some pretty cool features that are in it if you wanted to really explore that. Probably not really great for us, mom and pop one person shops and that sort of thing, but certainly a small business I think could make some practical use of it as opposed to maybe hiring a full-time receptionist to sit there and answer the phone 3 times a day.
Could you recreate what Woz did and do a dial-a-jokes system?
Oh, I'm sure you could. You could load in and give it an action of, if they say, tell me a joke, go to this thing and pull out a joke and repeat it to them. Yeah.
He apparently did that when he was living in Southern California, and his phone number for the dial-a-joke was one off of United Airlines, which caused some interesting confusion.
All right. 2 comments from YouTube. David, if you're ready.
I'm ready, but I have some bad news. My app was not approved, but apparently,
oh no.
But apparently it wasn't approved because I put it in the wrong program. So apparently there are 3 different programs. There's the beta program, the published program, and the unlisted program. And for whatever reason, mine went to the beta, which I don't know why. I didn't want it to go there. So they said, there's still hope. They're very nice. There's still hope, David. They didn't say that, but
yes, there is, David. The Zoom developer group is very, very polite people.
I should reach out to someone there.
Yes, you should come on Zoom developer office hours every 2 weeks, which was this week officially. So 2 weeks from now, you'll be able to interact with John and I again, and all the Zoomies that have direct access to the engineering department.
There you go. All right, take it away. I'll be right back.
All right. So Mr. Brody wanted to give us a comment related to interpretation. He says, for high stakes content, you need real-time interpretation by an expert versus any of the available flavors of translation. In brackets, he says, of written words. Example, auto captions translated to a second language. Do we agree with Brody on that one? And I got a nod from Frank. And nobody else wants to make any other comments, and a nod from Peter. Everybody agrees with you. All right. That I saw visually. All right. And also Mailman 166. So this is for David. Looks like you have more interest, David, on the Show Hub related product that you are making. So Rion, could you reach out to David via email? Probably be best so that you can get access.
Just go to showhub.online. And there's a button there for if you want to beta test it and play with it. Showhub.online. I just want to say out loud that this is not a platform for me to sell stuff. That's not my goal here. I was trying to build a Zoom app. So
that's right.
I apologize if it's coming across that way.
Yeah, no. It's not coming across that way. No, it's good. The site, but he does say the site does not have a private beta button. Could that be true, developer David?
I like that.
You like developer David? Oh, even Mr. Drinkwater wants to come in now and make a conversation.
Scroll all the way to the bottom. So here's, see, this is dumb. So so here, if you go all the way to the bottom, there's a request beta access, which will simply open up an email to me.
Perfect, David.
That's where you go.
Mr. Drinkwater, come on video and come talk to us, sir.
Are you available on this, David Paskin?
Am I what?
Are you available on Wednesdays?
I could be.
Because it is planned that there will be a dev show, and it'd be nice to have a dev David on a dev show.
I'll be a dev David on a dev show, but to be clear, again, not a dev Dave. You want to see? So here's.
No. Shush. Listen for a second, okay? It makes a lot of sense for Zoom to not keep spending all these resources trying to get all these corporates to program when they've now proven that AI is good enough that if you give it good data, it can do a lot of the heavy lifting yourself. And what, of course, they've realized, and this may be a point at which we should get the little glass things out that we've been given by Zoom. Zoom are surprised pleasantly, I think is probably the phrase, that this is not just a way that corporates can knock up little apps in a day to answer questions that they have about systems, but that all of us can make really simple apps to just make things simple for ourselves. Things that we used to pay, as I said in my show earlier, we could pay $30, $40 for little utilities. I've got one I talked about 2 hours ago called RM, which is just a file removal program because I've got so much rubbish on all my machines. It allows me to give it a folder and then tell it to get rid of all the images in that subfolder or all the subfolders, or to get rid of all the empty files, or to get rid of all the zip files, because I don't need all the zip files. I've got the apps here already. It's saving me loads of space. But because I've written it myself with AI, I haven't got all those stupid ads coming onto my machine. I haven't given away my privacy to some unknown company. I haven't left myself open to spyware. So these little app things, there's a big market for it. And Zoom is really quite excited that we've got to the point now where you can vibe code simple Zoom apps, and they're really keen on it.
You can't. I will say that the process of submitting that app is not stupid friendly. And what I mean by that,
and it's not supposed to be
right. And so I'm just saying that, for me to vibe code something, and then the hardest part of this whole thing has been the Zoom aspect of it. Submitting even right now, like I had no idea that I didn't mean to submit it to a beta program.
I know. It's an issue that they have. They've got very professional with this, and then they realize now there's a other level. So yes, the whole message I suppose I really want to get out here is Zoom is really keen on people to vibe code and to try and code for their Zoom. But what they're saying is if you go into developer mode, you can, it's the wrong thing to say, and Zoom will hate me for saying it, but you do what the heck you like. If you do it in your developer space, the only thing you can break is your own account.
Right.
So if you write the app wrong and it deletes all your meetings, it's only going to destroy your meetings, your account. So it's your problem if you get carried away and do it badly. But yeah, if you stay in developer mode, you don't have to go for approval by Zoom. You don't have to jump through any of the hoops. And if you have an app that works well and you want another 5, 10, 15 other people to make use of it, this manifest thing is a real clever thing, because you can literally take a copy of all your marketplace settings and give it to somebody else. They can log into their account and they can put it on theirs. And a good example of this actually is WordPress. If anyone's ever remembers WordPress, I know it's not so big nowadays, but it's still used in millions of sites. WordPress plugins, you have to have the settings on the WordPress. So if you have a WordPress app, and I've got a couple of them now, you can just give somebody the marketplace manifest file and they can log into their version of Zoom. They can put the manifest file in for them. They get their own code secret and ID codes for their account, which they put onto their version of the app, and it works, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's literally as easy as that. It's scarily easy.
Yeah.
And just from some things said today, I've got a game show app which I'm working on, but I just had an idea of how to do a much simpler version. And I've just disappeared for 5 minutes because I've just told my AI, I've got this app, it does all this. I don't want it to do all that. I want it to do this little bit. Now go and build me the other version. And it's now running around in circles downstairs trying to build me the simpler version of my app.
Hey, speaking of which, you know what we completely forgot about? The Zoom Atlas app that we just built, the outages app. So this is one prompt in build a graphical interface showing me Zoom service statuses across the globe. The interface should be interactive, allowing me to drill down and learn more about each status or outage. And it's not even done because I forgot about it and didn't pay attention. So here, so look at this. I can click and I can see everything's operational.
That's beautiful.
India and South Asia, there's degraded. And and it shows you Zoom phone here. This is actually pretty cool. I mean, I don't really understand the image here, but
sure, North America, South America.
No, I know what it's. I don't know why it looks this way. It just looks a little weird. But 99.994 availability, 41 milliseconds. So this is scheduled phone maintenance. It's actually pretty cool. All right, here I will once this is no, what does that mean? I don't know what those mean up there. Okay. Well, once this is done, I will share the link with everyone. There you go.
John, you can tell how much David's having fun being a developer now. Developer David.
Well, as we said earlier, Mike, there's lots of simple apps out there.
Yeah.
And you can go into AI and you can say, okay, well, I know there are a million, reporting apps, but I want a reporting app because I want to get my reports out of Zoom. And you just give it a few things. It's obviously gone out to the internet, found some ideas about what other apps have done, and has produced this, and it's wonderful. It just doesn't understand the map of the world very well. But apart from that, it's fantastic.
I still don't. That's such a strange presentation of the map. Okay, now wait. So now I have to. Now it's making me log in because now it's making it like whatever you call it.
Do. So that I cover up over top of it as David logs in. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's yeah.
But you could tell it to use a proper Mercator projection too.
Use what?
A proper Mercator projection. That's the map is trying to emulate there.
Mercator.
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 Tor. That's right. Thank you.
Mercator.
Correct.
Use a proper Mercator what?
Projection.
Yeah.
Projection.
Makes the round world look work on a flat surface.
Is showing.
My favorite was when I traveled to Australia or New Zealand. You could buy upside down versions of that map.
That is the funniest way that it decided to show the world map. That's really
well. It's a stylized version of that.
It's very nice.
Draw each continent with a maximum of 10 data points.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of like it actually. Maybe it's because I said graphical. I wonder if it's because I said graphical interface. I wonder if that's why. I don't know.
No.
You just weren't specific enough of what you wanted the continents to look like, so it gave you a close approximation.
Central America is underwater.
Yes.
I'd like to put in a feature request, please.
Yes, go ahead.
I would like it better if on some part of the interface I could turn different Zoom product services off and on. Like maybe I don't want to see Zoom phone outages. I only want to see Zoom meetings, or maybe I really want to see Zoom phone, Zoom contact center. Maybe I want to see Zoom events, but I don't want to see meetings. Like I'd like to be able to put layers on the map of the different service outages.
Allow users to select Zoom services, events, phone meetings, etc.
David, this is when you go to your transcript and you copy the text that Frank just spoke and paste it in.
Oh, is that what I do? Okay, wait a second.
I do that all the time with this kind of stuff.
All right, hold on.
Or take the email.
Transcript is on.
Do you ever use Photoshop? Or anything like Photoshop?
I haven't. No.
David's into using Canva. I know that.
Okay, anything that uses layers.
Right.
So I would like some sort of like system where I can show me all the phone outages. Then on top of that, I could have on or off, show me all the meeting outages on or off, so that, and maybe phone is one color and something, I don't know, something like that.
The My Radar app that I use for weather has a wind layer and a rain layer and a freezing layer and a warnings layer and that sort of thing that you could turn on and off individually with a switch.
Yeah, something like that.
All right, I'm working on it.
I want that on my desk by 8 o'clock there, Paskin, or you're fired. That's it.
Okay. Working on
it. AM or PM.
So I would like some sort of system where I can put or I can see, I just copied from the thing where so I would like the app to show me all the phone outages. Then on top of that, I could have your transcript is not helping whatsoever. The disaster.
I'm so sorry that AI is not as smart as you thought it was.
David, in a layer on top of that.
Zoom service to be a different layer on the map.
While you were busy typing that, I already trademarked my idea, and I'm going to sue you for patent infringement.
You're suing him for Paskin improvement.
Haha.
Bands, etc. Okay. All right, that's going to work. I'm going to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
That's one thing AI can't.
Very true. That's one thing that AI can't stop. Very, very true. So it's very cool that Mr. David is getting into the developer world. He's really diving in. What do we know what he's actually
getting the
using
vibe.
there? He's getting the vibe. Yes. Yes.
By Pontiac.
Oh, there we go. And Frank's showing you the ages again. That's a good idea. All right. That's cool. All right. Well, David is here. And will I do it while he's in the washroom? Sure, I'll do it while he's in the washroom. All right. Let's see if it'll actually work.
It needs a swoosh. You need a swoosh sound that goes
I
along
know
with
that I
it.
need the swoosh. Okay, hold on. Swoosh. Oh, too late. Okay. If you have any questions for us on the panel, let us know in YouTube chat. Whoosh. Sorry, Mr. Whoosh again. Yes, Mr. Drinkwater.
I want to ask that question we asked earlier. Are you double dating your AI?
Oh, yes, that's true. We did mention that during our show today. Is everybody double dating? Juju, you have to answer now. You were there for our show earlier. You have to answer if you're double dating or not.
I can't tell you the answer because my wife might watch this later.
I am.
I'm not dating at all. Yeah.
Are you faithful to one AI or are you chatting to another behind its back?
I am polyamorous when it comes to AI.
So I'm not doing it
And
behind
I'm
its back.
monogamous.
I'm not doing it behind its back, John. I'm actually letting Codex and OpenAI talk to each other.
A menage of intelligence?
No, I'm actually saying one writes the code, one writes the test case.
Ah, yes, but I only get one to send the report to the other. I don't actually let them talk to each other. That would be too much.
Well, I let mine do it overnight. So,
and I fib to Claude because I say, that sounds a really good idea. Can you give me a markdown so we can put that into another project? Instead of saying, that's a really good idea. Give me the answer now because I've got a better AI to do it for me than you.
No, that's not what I'm asking them to do, John. I'm following the same methodology, only using AIs that I learned 40 years ago in the IBM company. It's the same team that writes the code is not the same team that tests the code.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a bad rabbit hole, isn't it, really? Because AI is really good at writing bad code.
That's right.
And yet another half of AI is very good at breaking good code.
So what I basically say is I write down what I want done, not, in other words, what are the results I want from my program, and I let one write the code, give him those instructions, and I give the other set of instructions says write a set of test cases.
Hello, John Edelson.
And it's really interesting to watch how that comes out.
Mr. Edelson, you missed John's question. Go ahead, finish up your thought, Pete. Then we'll ask Mr. Edelson.
John, you're not far off. What? Sometimes they can write horrendous code. It works, but it's horrendous code. But that also applies to test cases. But it's interesting to watch them play off of each other.
Yeah, definitely. Even in humans, it's a problem because if you're given a challenge to do a particular piece of code, you write it in the way you think. If you're asked to do the testing for that, you'll test it in the way you think. And you are right. What you need is a third party to come along, look at the problem, but think at it in a different way, and then write the tests to make sure it works.
We weren't allowed to do that when I worked for IBM Development. We weren't allowed to do that. You were either a tester or you were a coder. You like to break things or you like to write things?
Oh, I like to break things. I
like
spend more time breaking things.
I like to break
I especially like to break my own things. That's even more fun.
Peter, I enjoy that because in my software firm, I was the person to break the software. And we had a team of 3 programmers, and after a certain while, they were less friendly with me. And I said, "What's the matter?" Because we would do parties and stuff. And they said, "Well, we really don't want to come see you," because I was very good at breaking code.
Well, my favorite story is we were writing, or parallel team them. I was writing a set of recovery logic for, this is, mind you, back in the days of when disk drives and computers had lots of yellow wires wrapped around pins in the back. And they said, "We finally got it so it works. It should recover cleanly from anything you can do to it." That was a really bad challenge to hand me. So I walked to the back of this. Now, mind you, this was a probably $300,000 test mule equipment, but I went and put on a large rubber glove, grabbed a large industrial length screwdriver, and dragged it across the pins in the back. Guess what? It didn't recover. Like I said, I like to break things.
All right. I put the link in chat if anyone wants to play with this. You will need a ChatGPT account to get access to it. Right.
What are we playing with, David? I came late to the party.
We were talking before about it would be nice to be able to see in sort of a graphical interface Zoom outages, especially, if you're dealing with people in other countries, it'd be nice to be able to sort of at a glance see Zoom outages around the world. And so we threw it into ChatGPT and asked it to build us that site. So now we're now adding layers so that we can see different the different services.
Since I do not have permission for this to visit this site, and I logged in with my ChatGPT account.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait a second. Maybe. Why does it say that's interesting?
Practically, it's not public.
Yeah, but I want it to be public, so I don't quite know. Oh, there it is. Sorry. Sorry.
So try again.
Yeah, give it a second. It's publishing. Here we go.
Yeah, that fixed it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry, forgot that step. And it's still working on the service layers are complete and working. Each Zoom product. Let's see here.
Oh, I got it. Okay.
Are
It's
working
here.
can be switched independently. But that part isn't live yet. We're still waiting on that. Regional markers update immediately, and the drill down panel follows the visible layers. I'm publishing the revised. Yeah, it's coming. Okay.
Ah, yes. Now I got it. Very nice.
All right. Well, there you go. Still finishing. Move.
Hey, Mike, I like your picture in chat. That's cool.
That was I was just letting everybody know that haven't tried to log in. That's what we actually saw. So that is actually ChatGPT being really cool.
Yeah.
Saying you do not have permission.
Make sure the entire app is mobile responsive. Okay. Well, I will keep working on this. You all enjoy. Mike, make some magic. Wait, we can't hear you.
Oh, David, there's another question for you before you disappear.
Uh-oh.
From David B. So it's David to David.
Hi, David. To David.
What's the difference with the Zoom Test Kitchen Show Hub and Office Hours app of the same name?
So just to be clear, again, Show Hub is not a Zoom Test Kitchen thing. It's just something I made for my show, The Rundown. It has no relation to the show hub that office hours is using, as I understand it, I haven't spent a lot of time in it, is where people sign up for the different roles and we're able to track that and all of that. That this is something completely different. And if I need to, I'll change the name because I didn't think of it. Last thing I want to do is cause confusion.
Well, show hub is more than signing up for the names at this point. It's keeping track of all the kind of questions that people ask. It's a much broader management. It has all the links. It automatically populates the email going out. So it's a little bit like, unfortunately, office hours, because they were not the only show hub. There's a whole bunch of show hubs out there.
So I'm sorry to hear that, because I saw on office hours the show hub. I thought it was David, a version of David's. I went in there. I tried to log on for the show for Thursday night.
No, it's a very
so, and because I've been a panelist before on office hours, it let me do all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
So I have no idea, but I'm signed up for something.
Mr. Drinkwater, you have to ask David before he disappears your question that you posed on our show today.
Not really. I don't know what he's going to say.
I know, that's okay. It's okay. This is
So
a safe
David,
space.
David, we have to ask you confidentially. Are you only chatting with your chat GPT, or are you having a relationship on the side with another AI agent? Are you being faithful to one AI?
Yes, and I'll tell you why. So I decided that every week I for the clip art for this, not the clip art, what do you call it? The YouTube, what the heck is that called?
Thumbnail.
The thumbnail. I have a template and I just change the picture and I come up with a stupid title. So I decided, you know what? This is silly that I'm doing this. I'm just gonna let AI do it. So I immediately went to ChatGPT because that's my go-to. I'm faithful. I went there and it made some really nice ones. Then I said, wait a second, hold your horses, David. This is the Zoom Test Kitchen. Use Zoom AI. So I immediately went into Zoom AI, at which point it told me it couldn't help me because I don't have Zoom Mate and I don't pay for it. So it does have create image as an option, but it would not do it without Zoom Mate. So I tried to cheat, but was unsuccessful. How's that?
So Dave, if you'd like to see what Zoom Mate would do with the prompt, I can do it for you.
Well, I just wanted to see what Zoom would do with creating an image. That's all. So.
Well, I'm very impressed. I think the general consensus here is most people are cheating, even double dating.
Yeah.
And the worst transgressors are taking the answer from one GPT and giving it to another.
I don't know if that's cheating or if you're cheating on one or the other, because if they both know they're each there.
Yeah, I've done a little of that in the past, if I'm being honest.
That would be a group marriage, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was the perfect comment that we had from one of our viewers also during the show was that friends with benefits. John, was the terminology? I think it was. Did it be that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Benefits that are friends.
I would go even farther and call it a business arrangement.
So are we on YouTube? Just checking.
Yeah.
Listen, you're the guy. Wait, was it you?
Yeah.
Who told the sex doll joke last night?
But not on YouTube.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm too sexy for my AI, says Frank. I love it.
So David, I'm looking at your app with your map. I'm just trying to figure out how it's placing.
Yeah, I know. I know some of the dots are in the ocean. Yeah.
Oh, they're in the ocean. They're up in the Arctic Circle.
Yeah. Yeah. Make sure all data signals are placed properly,
Centrally.
even and take into account
Yeah.
multiple screens. Status
Yeah.
must always stay in their areas, zones.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Mike, do the magic thing because I got to jump.
Oh, you missed the magic
and
thing
I haven't-
already.
Oh, you did it? But I think
I
I was
did.
talking over it. Do it again.
Okay. All
Is
right.
there needs to be a sound effect with this.
I know. That's what Frank said when you're not here.
Yeah.
I know. I need to officially do.
Do you want a
you
sound
know,
effect? I'll make a sound effect. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Hold on. Let me make sure. Yeah. So we have to make sure that we spotlight me,
Yeah.
and then you can talk, and then you won't go over
No,
to
I'm
you.
ready. Go ahead. Do the thing.
All right. Here
I'll
we
do
go.
the sound effect.
1, 2, 3.
Scooby-Doo.
All right, everybody on YouTube.
Well, before you go to
Uh,
YouTube, can I ask a question from the panel?
The answer is no, that wasn't original sound.
It was originally something, though. It was originally David.
So can I ask my question?
Of course.
Has anybody talked about or tried the new Zoom Marketplace app called Feeds, which is a plugin for OBS and gives you all
Tried
the
it.
access?
Tried it. I've more than tried it. I've copied it and I've ripped off my own version.
Oh, cool. Okay. Are you going to put it in the store?
You know, for someone who's talking about cheating on AI, I'm not sure that copying an entire app and making it your own is exactly the most ethical thing.
Well, it's not ethical. Oh, Shmazel, whatever Molotov or whatever you say. We've been having this long conversation about getting this audio thing, this bring your own audio thing. So, as and I think David will quite happily admit this, as most of the code was offloaded to him to put into OBS from Andy, I thought, well, there might be a little Andy secret in there that I can make use of to make my app work. So I naturally just downloaded a copy from GitHub and had multiple AIs pull it apart and find all the features. And it didn't. But I actually, I think it's good, John. But I said this to him directly. He's got to be careful who buys it, because running on OBS, it's never going to be professional. And I think if any of the corporates get their hands on it, not only will he get his fingers burnt, but they'll get bad vibes back to Zoom. So I think that's the problem we have with a lot of these video processing apps. And with all due respect, I had Mimo Live and all these other little apps like that. They are not production ready. They never will be. They don't run on machines that could run production ready. But for his target audience of gamers who want to branch out a bit more and bring Zoom into their gaming world, I think it's fantastic. Absolutely
Well, I think
fantastic.
anybody who goes into open source software has made a choice about what level of tolerance of ambiguities they're willing to take.
Yep.
Well, that's why it's a perception problem that people have got to be careful of what they want to use it for and where they want to use it. But in what it does and where it does it, it's fantastic, absolutely fantastic.
But I think Ecamm, Mimo Live, the old days of Emix, they're not a Grass Valley or a Raw switcher, but there are professional networks using, I know for a fact, Mimo Live, that are, state of the art technology. So it's, but I think in OBS,
and little organizations and little companies can move far quicker than the big boys, and they will come up with the innovations quicker than the big boys, and that's always good. Our friend Philippi has brought out a new version. Now he's dropped OBS and he's got his own app to do what he used to do in OBS, and that again is a fabulous app. I would love to demonstrate it to everybody, but I haven't got my hand around everything and how it works, and I don't understand it enough to be able to give that level of presentation. But yeah, it's really cool. And I was very happy to tell Andy on Wednesday that I managed to download the new apps they released from the developer conference, and I've got Bring Your Own Audio working now. So it took us talking about it for 4 test kitchens, but within 4 test kitchens, I've managed to get Bring Your Own Audio working on my machine over there. So I can run a machine over there, and I've got it connected to vMix at the moment. Doesn't matter what it's connected to. It could be anything on that machine, and it will turn off Production Studio, but use the Production Studio back end to stream all its content into an event. And it's now really a case of just encouraging all these other apps to just keep adding the features and keep making them better. And
I think that's what's, I think the marketplace may change from a marketplace to a, I don't know, festival of ideas, or a marketplace of ideas, because at a certain point, like you said, you could look at 2 or 3 of these apps, figure out what they're doing, and then ask one of your AI agents to, do a smorgasbord of those exactly where your particular project needs.
Yeah, the smaller the apps marketplace, in other words, the more specific they are in which particular group of users they want to go, the more features they'll be able to add for that particular marketplace. And hopefully we'll just have dozens of apps that will do a particular video switching, say in OBS, to take David as an example, but they'll all be specifically built to work for a specific group of people that they can then add the features to make it better for that group of people. Sorry, Ray, over to you.
Well, this conversation is really great, and I really like it, and I really like the fact that people like David can write apps that can be used by other people, which we started this whole Zoom Test Kitchen with. Anybody can do it. Here's the problem that I see with that sort of in the larger picture, and that is, if we had 147,000 Zoom apps out there, there would be no expertise in any one of them that could really help it grow to the masses. So there's still place for, I'm not going to write an app. You're not going to write an app. You're not going to write an app. What are you going to use? Well, I use the one that David created, and you use the one John created, and you use the one that Mike created. But wait, they've all got different features, and how do we actually get together? And that's sort of been in my mind a little bit as AI proliferation has occurred, and people are going, oh, I like that, but I don't like the way he did it. I'm going to make it different. And that's great if you've got the skills and the time and the resources to create an app that's great for you, that might have a niche of people that would really go, I prefer your app over all of the other apps that I've seen. And a bit, I'm not scared, but I'll use the term, I'm scared that we've got Windows, we've got Mac, and we've got Linux, but you don't have Linux. You've got, I don't know how many flavors of Linux. Am I using Debian? Am I using, I don't even know the names of all of them, but oh, no, I'm not using that Linux. I'm using this Linux. Well, yeah, you can't do what I'm doing because I'm using the other Linux. And it's one of the reasons that I like, having grown up in the 80s and the 90s, and there were standards organizations, and people went, let's create a standard. I'm going to take 2 minutes and go down memory lane here. Back in the early 2000s to 2005, I worked for a company that had a contract with the Department of the Army in Huntsville, Alabama. And that's where the Army helicopter group was there. And there's the Sikorsky, the Apache, 4 different models. And now I can't remember and they each had their own creator. One was Boeing, one was, it's been so long ago, I can't even remember them. The Army came to my group and said, look, every time we buy a new radio and we want to install that fancy radio on these 4 helicopters, every one of the vendors of those helicopters charge us $4 to $10 million a piece just to integrate that system onto their platform. Gee, wouldn't it be nice if we had an easier way of doing that? And I did some studying and looked at Microsoft, and the word framework popped out of my head. And we created a communications framework for the Army's strategic helicopter group out there to use. And I was there for another 4 years, and that thing never got off the ground because the vendors were still saying, I'm still going to charge you the money because that's how we make money and that's how we keep the platforms up to date. Recently, I've done some research and I found out that they've actually started to do that implementation and create a framework that the Army buys a radio and it will now drop into one of those 4 helicopters with something less than $2 million worth of interface work and testing. Testing is a big part of that, on behalf of each of the aircraft manufacturers. So, what I wouldn't want to see is the United States had 1,400 different models of helicopters, and each one costs $4 million every time the Army bought a new radio. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Well, according to the stopwatch, that was under 2 minutes. So you delivered quickly. But haven't we just created a world of AI? No, AI couldn't do anything if it wasn't for another acronym, API. It's because Zoom makes an API available that people can write little apps to analyze the status of Zoom. You can write a little API to give you a list of all the meetings you attended and how many people participated. You can do a list of all the phone calls you made or received, and you can analyze them. And there are corporates doing that all over the place. So most of the apps that I see being delivered are basically just little data apps. They're taking some data out of Zoom, in Zoom's case, and then they're processing it into a table or a way that organization can make use of it. And that's where most apps are being used. There are far fewer apps doing, I won't say clever things, but more complicated things, more advanced things and processing stuff. Most of the apps are doing simple things. Zoom ISO, we love Zoom ISO. We always say how wonderful it is that we can take Zoom feeds. But you can spin up a Zoom meeting place app and do that yourself now, which is good because you can do a Windows version as well, as ISO no longer supports Windows. So I agree with you totally, but I would say that the democratization of the data is because the APIs are there and you use an AI to go and collect it. But yes, you will end up with 50, 60 versions of a particular app. Well, that's good, because if there's 50 or 60 versions of a particular app, then when somebody else comes along and asks an AI agent to make them a version, it can go and read what the other 50, 60 did, and it will come back with a better answer. And so it's learning. Because yes, I bet you knew this and didn't think about it though. Every time you write an app with AI, it learns from you and remembers your app and uses that in its knowledge to build another app later for somebody else. So every time you build an app in AI, you're helping AI build a better apps in the future. And that's either good news or scary, depending which way you look at it.
Yeah, the scary part is people who go in with the intention of, screwing the AI up. I'm going to write code that does bad stuff, and if it learns from that, Bolt.new, which I use for my vibe code development, just I don't know if they've just released or they're going to release in another week or whatever, a built-in internal security app that will look at all of your code for a variety of security issues and that sort of thing for you. And they're basically saying, we're not going to use any tokens for injecting that app. You get to pick which things you want it to actually fix and not fix, but you will get an in-depth analysis of security flaws that have been injected into your code before you go live with it, which I think is cool.
Mr. Drinkwater, did you ever get an answer from Mr. Idelson related to your question?
I think he was trying to infer that his mate is Zoom mate and no one else can relate.
No, what was the question?
The AI fidelity issue, I believe, is where he was headed.
Well, if you ask it a little clearer, I could ask my agent. I mean, if you could ask me a little clearer, I'll give you an answer.
Over to you, Mr. Drinkwater. Go for it.
John Idelson, do you just date one AI tool or are you playing the field?
Oh, so as an academic, when I was actively teaching, I had Linux, and there are many flavors of Linux, Mac, Windows, and I go back far enough to DOS and Heathkit DOS. So in my long career of teaching, I have many relationships with operating systems, and it served me well. So in this current world, I think it's good to make sure that you're open to everyone that you should be able to at least talk to. Is that a good enough answer, John?
I'll chime in here kind of quick too. I've said in several circles, Perplexity is my AI of choice because it'll do deep research really, really well. It doesn't write code, but it does really good research. And I've used Perplexity to develop requirements for me for some of the apps that I build that I then copy and paste into Bolt, and Bolt has done the development. And I've said several times in the last, since Zoom got into AI, the Zoom AI thing is not working for me. But I have to say, in the last month or two, Zoom has impressed me. They have done a good job of bringing a lot of that information into Zoom. I can now go into Zoom and ask detailed questions and get detailed answers. The other thing that I'm sort of lamenting at this point, hasn't really been well published, is exactly what is the AI productivity suite? Has anybody heard this term? Not too many people have really got, I've heard a lot about it. What is the AI productivity suite? It's ZoomMate with Canvas docs, sheets, tables, all of the things that ZoomMate can talk to. It's actually pretty interesting. There is a custom agent that's built into Zoom data tables, which encompasses both sheets and tables, that I gave it a CSV file text printout of some data that I'm doing for my event next week. And I said, look, I want you to generate a run of show for me. Here's what I like in the header. Here's what I like in the space below that. For each one that has particular speakers, I like some other stuff down below that. And I want a division line in between them. And I want at the top, a header 2 level and all that sort of stuff. And it said, 1 moment, please. And moments later, I had a Canvas document that I'm now sort of hand editing and putting some additional stuff in. It did a really good job doing what I wanted to do, and I'm starting to learn about the AI suite where you can now go in and give it sources. And I have it looking at a couple of my websites and gathering some of that stuff up. And yeah, it's doing a lot better. I'm thinking I might be in a position to drop my Perplexity subscription at some point. And I've been using Notion, which has some AI built into it, and I've used the Notion AI to do some things, but I've used it primarily as a documentation repository for a bunch of notes, and I can go into AI and go, somewhere I said John Edelson was a really nice guy, and it can go and find that sort of stuff.
That's rarely spoken, but thank you.
Well, you're welcome. It was buried really deep, John. It found it though. But I'm pretty sure that based on my comparison now of Notion and Zoom Canvas, I'll use the right term, Zoom Canvas. I had 2 complaints about Zoom Canvas that ended up being non-issues. One was one of the things I loved over in Notion was the /toggle header, that I could make a header level 1, 2, or 3, and you could put text underneath it. And there was a little triangle button you could click, and it would suck it up and drop it down. And I was like, there's no toggle header in Zoom Canvas. Why is there no toggle header in Zoom Canvas? Because every header that you put in has a little toggle button on it. You don't have to select which areas do I want a toggle and which do I not want a toggle. Yeah, that was sort of the bigger deal. And I don't know, there was another piece that I thought, Notion does this better than Zoom, and I ended up finding out that, it's just because we've talked about this before. I haven't seen the really good training that provides me with all of the information about how to really effectively use Zoom Canvas as a documentation source. How do they implement Markdown?
There were a couple of Zoomies I was speaking to recently. I won't say who they were. I'll just say they were Zoomy related people. And what was interesting was that they were suggesting that maybe some of these apps that people are thinking of writing in Zoom won't get written because the link between Zoom Mate and the Zoom data is getting so good that they're probably not going to be bothered to write an app. They're just going to, as you have done, Ray, they're going to ask the question of Zoom Mate, and Zoom Mate's going to go and collect the data and do the programming for them and give them the answer. I'm not sure that's totally efficient use of technology, but that looks like the way it's going in the corporate world, that they will just ask a question. And then, of course, when they've got the answer, they will set it up as a repeating performance, and they can have the data updated every week or every fortnight or whatever, and or as they load it, and they will just go and get the data from there.
I've created 2 workflows that run every day. Great. One of them goes and looks at all of the chats that were done in the Zoom Community Champion channel in the last 24 to 26 hours and summarizes them. Who said the really important bits? What are the links to go back to them if I want to read the whole thing? How many were there? And I can look now at 9 a.m. in the morning and go, nobody posted anything in the chat channel, or John and Mike and Alexis and all of those people were talking about these 3 things, and I can decide, do I want to go back in there and look at them or not? And the other one is I get a brief report of all of the tasks that I've started to use now that are overdue, categorized easily, overdue, due today or tomorrow or sometime in the future, but don't give me more than 5 of those in the future. And I now go to a channel that I created called Workflow Results and just read those 2 entries in about 30 seconds. And to me, that's saving me the click time even in the Zoom app to go over to the Zoom channel. And there's this much stuff. And do I really want to read through that? I get the synopsis and then over to my tasks, which I still haven't figured out exactly how to get to sort and categorize the way I want to sort it. So to me, the real money to be made in the Zoom area is creating those agentic interfaces that you can now plug into workflows. You can create a workflow. One of the other workflows that I'm creating for a client of mine is he occasionally does interviews with people, and he would like the summary of that interview to go to his assistant. He doesn't want to invite her. He doesn't want her to have to go over into his space and him share it and that sort of stuff. He just wants it when the meeting is over and the synopsis has been done to grab that synopsis and email it to her. And there's a small block in that at the moment, in that from inside the workflow, I can't get to the currently generated synopsis. But I can say, generate another synopsis, take that text and email it to her. And so I'm doing that now. So as soon as I can actually get the same synopsis he gets and access to it, and that's a feature request I put in. And maybe there's a way to do it, but I don't have access to any Zoom AI technical folks that really can help me find or fix that. But yeah, to me, the ability then to create your own agentic block to call in into the workflow can do a lot of that stuff for you. Here's the other thing that I want, and John, I know you can write an app for this. I just want something to send me an SMS text. If somebody joins one of my rooms that are always open, you know, like my PMI, if someone visits my PMI and I'm not there, I want to know about it.
I see John taking notes already. Hold on, keep going.
And the same thing is if I and I've already I get the email. So and so joined your meeting, which is not scheduled to start until next Wednesday morning. That's okay. I can ignore that. Oh, I know what they're doing. They're just testing it out. But if someone gets to a meeting that I've scheduled and they're 10 minutes early, I like to be there early, but I hate to be there waiting on them if they're not going to get there till 3 minutes later. If somebody joins a meeting that I've scheduled 10 minutes early, I'd like to know about it, because if I'm available, I'll go hop in.
Interesting.
So, you know, if I could make some time boundaries. If someone has joined one of my scheduled meetings within, you know, an hour before the time of the meeting, just let me know.
So this is similar, Ray. Then you want something similar to how we can get email notifications of people that are waiting in your waiting room if you have that set up and such like that. Is that what we're talking close to that?
Yeah. And the other
instead.
thing, the other interesting thing that you might not have noticed when you're scheduling a meeting now on the web interface, and it's also there, I think, in a couple of places in the Workplace app, but it's definitely there in the web interface, is when you've put in, you know, I want to invite these people, and here's the title, and here's the date, and here's the time. There's a yellow clickable link that says add a workflow to this meeting. Maybe for some meetings I don't care about it, and this is really how I'm going to get my client to only send the synopses of the meetings that he wants sent to his assistant. Said, you know, Kurt, all you have to do is click the link when you're scheduling the meeting and activate the, you know, send to my assistant workflow, and it'll work for you. So be able to have some control in the workflow, and not necessarily SMS. I'd like to have a push thing, but I don't necessarily want to have to open my Zoom workflow Zoom Workplace app necessarily if I'm in a meeting, but I would like to be able to kind of get there and SMS. And the reason I've specifically said SMS is because that SMS isn't out yet, and I just want to try it to see how it works.
Your thoughts, Mr. Drinkwater?
You can send email via Outlook and Gmail now natively. Go ahead.
There is a webhook in Zoom which allows you to basically register your interest, and then Zoom will nudge you when somebody is waiting. The event fires when a participant attempts to join a meeting and is waiting for the host to start the meeting. So there's a webhook that you can get.
Yes.
And then you could take an action based on that webhook. The only problem I have at the moment with SMS is that because Zoom is a big organization, it's signed up to the corporate standards of spamming.
10 DLC.
I can't remember what it's. Yeah, the 10 DLC. And therefore, some people have difficulty getting their SMS set up because they have to comply with that. But there is, maybe Mr. Paskin could do it for you. There is a system call in Zoom that allows you to get a notification when somebody is waiting in a room. So then you could then decide what rules you're going to have for whether you're going to disregard that person or you're going to attend to them. But that's possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
There is also a webhook. Just to give you your other answer, there is also a webhook to tell you when a meeting's completed. So maybe you'd use that one to, again, decide whether or not you want to start this workflow for your synopsis, depending on what meeting it is.
Yeah.
As a trigger.
I've been aware of the webhooks that you can get. The problem that I've had historically before Zoom AI and the workflow app is that you can actually configure a chat channel that will receive webhooks, but it's not capable of authenticating to any of the outgoing webhooks from Zoom. You can't get those into Zoom. And I think it might be possible to do in the new webhook interface in Zoom Mate, but there's not enough documentation in it yet. And I haven't been able to connect all the dots to go, yes, it will work, or no, it won't work. But I'm heading in that direction. Yeah.
Very sweet. Very sweet. And again, you're doing this in, Ray, just remind everybody, you're doing this currently in?
All in Zoom. If you have the Zoom Workplace app, there is a Zoom workflow icon. And it's kind of interesting because I actually asked the question in one of the forums that I'm in. Why is there no release notes for workflow? There's release notes for Canvas, and there's release notes for Sheets, and there's release notes for, each of those things. There's no release notes for workflow. And that's because Zoom considers workflow to be a part of Zoom AI and Zoom Mate.
Mm-hmm.
But I really need drill down into that Zoom workflow stuff. I don't need it swimming around in the other.
Yeah, it deserves its own. What you're saying, Ray, is it deserves its own section. Yeah, it's too important not to be. Very cool. That was a good discussion. I like that, guys. That was good. Yeah, and we're getting a lot of feedback on that. I was watching the viewer count, and everybody was enjoying that, so that was good. Good stuff. All right. Let me do this. Yeah, all right. Let me do that. All right. So we will let our YouTube audience know one more time before we wrap it up for this edition of Zoom Test Kitchen. Oh, I missed the. Okay, there we go. If you have any questions for us, yeah, there you go. If you have any questions for us, thanks, Ray. On YouTube, let us know in chat. Yes, I wish the ATEM actually could play an audio. I guess, never mind. I'll work on it. I could have a companion actually trigger maybe a sound when I'm hitting that button, so it actually does it too.
Is it a video or is it just some sort of other graphic?
Interesting. There's a good question. I can answer that. So what I am doing there is I'm actually going through the media pool, and I'm actually doing, so each individual shape is actually a picture. It just does it very,
okay.
very quickly
Okay.
until it goes to the actual frame of the question and answer picture.
Sure.
And then it comes out again, and I just have it coming back out again.
Yeah.
It's it's all
if you could take that, screen scrape it, make a video out of it, then you could actually put an audio track on the video and just play the video with the audio
in Production Studio. Yes.
Well, no, vMix and hopefully Ecamm and all you Mac guys.
Of course. Yeah. No, I was purposely staying away from them and going, and yes, and absolutely we could do that actually in Zoom Production Studio. But yes, absolutely. Of course you could do that in
ChatGPT just created a whoosh sound effect for you.
Cool. Did you give it to me? Oh, that was
yeah,
Johnny.
I'll just put it in the chat.
Excellent. Oh, I can download the whoosh effect too. All right. Oh, I failed to get upload status for the whoosh sound. Okay. I've been disowned. Oh, I probably have to log in. That's okay. I'll do that in a bit. But thank you, Johnny. It's very cool.
Oh, it's quite good actually.
Oh, you like it?
Yeah.
Well, I hear some extra noise coming from you. Is that you, Johnny?
I suppose
Are you playing it there?
Yeah, I suppose if I share my audio, that's the way to do it, isn't it?
Sure.
Share
or even
audio.
share, if it's a file, you can actually play it as long as, it depends on the format it is.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm sounding Zoom ignorant because I'm on the Mac and I still don't understand this thing. But yeah, that's your whoosh audio.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's not bad. I've heard worse. Let me put it that way. I've heard worse. Considering, I'll make you a short, clean whoosh sound effect as a wave. Perfect. So it's a wave file. Perfect. Yeah. So again, very Zoom friendly too for me to share on Zoom too. That's cool. So what did everybody think of Mr. David bringing Zoom status to the world via ChatGPT today?
I think he could charge, like a couple bucks a month to some people, and actually make some money on it. But
can I sponsor my bit of the UK and get my picture on that bit of the map?
Well, yeah, we have to make sure that officially we're not actually saying that North America is officially in the Hudson Bay. So yeah, we have to make sure that that's good, that it's not in the body of water, but we're fine.
Pick a dot on the contour of the continent and put the status bubble there.
I just did a refresh. Oh my, refresh everybody. David's been playing since we've been doing stuff. Now all of a sudden it's all broken down per category now. Oh my.
Oh dear.
Oh my. All right. Is that worth sharing before we disappear to give everybody an update? Sure, why not? Come here, share. Mr. Drinkwater, you're still sharing your swoosh.
Oh, well, I was waiting for you to do your little button so I could go.
Oh, I got it. Okay. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Ray's got it. All right, here we go. Look at the buttons, everybody.
Yeah.
So you can actually highlight them. So it actually is
like on Africa, and it does all this over here. United States is good. Yeah, I like the fact that you can actually see the individual bits there. Zoom phone is in the partial impact. And do we know what the yellow is? I don't know that we've got
I guess that might be the
watching.
watching
and healthy watching and impact.
There we go.
I think the colors are to do with the 0.9% or less of the fault. So if you're 99.997% problem, you get a green. And if you're under that, you get an orange.
And looks like Ray too, you per Frank's request, we actually have checkboxes there for your different layers there at the top. See it? Map layers? There you go.
Yep.
So next I want a picture of my desk, and then Ray can have all the updates highlighted on all the devices that are getting a new release note.
Ooh. Interesting.
Interesting. I like it.
Yeah.
Welcome to Zoom Apps Kitchen.
And official Zoom status takes you over to see the whole thing if you want.
Good. Perfect.
Nice.
Yeah.
AP region report. Nice.
Yeah. Nice.
Cool.
Very, very cool. All right. I'm going to put in chat last call for any questions for the group before we break. Anything else exciting happening, Mr. Idelson, for you either this week or coming up week?
Oh, he won't tell us. He's gonna mumble under mute, so we don't know. It's really
okay.
cruel.
If I only knew how to operate this software, maybe somebody could teach me. August is coming, and August is the week where we have Auto Week here in the Monterey Bay area, and I'll be doing emergency comms as I have in the past. So that's going to keep me busy. I'm off to the racetrack, literally off to the racetrack. But
don't be too busy, Mr. Idelson, because
no, I'm failing retirement.
We wouldn't want you to stop. Keep finding all these lovely developer little apps that you keep coming across and promoting them, because that's they've been some very interesting conversations of those. So that's good.
So, and John, I really like your set. I didn't mention earlier, but now that I have the stage, I really enjoyed those. Are those lamps? Are those speakers behind you? I'm trying to figure out what I'm looking at there.
Yeah, they're lamps.
And that's the base that's holding them up. Looks very nice.
John's so confused that he's going. You've had this for a while. I know you've had this for a while, but yeah, those bases are very intriguing. Yeah. Mr. Drinkwater, you're missing something on the. I don't see anything on the nightstand, or that. You're missing something up there.
No, I'm not. Oh, there it is.
Oh, it's back there.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm gonna try it.
Mine's over there.
Oh, you see.
You need to get
I was thinking of having. I was thinking having an award. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking of illuminating the glass so it glows.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I might have to have a new.
Yeah. I know. I haven't got enough light on it too, but I think you can actually see that it actually has. There we go.
So this is the new award cam device available from all good news agents.
There you go.
Gentlemen, my 3 o'clock appointment is waiting. So somebody notified you that they're already in a Zoom room. So I'm off to the races.
Take care, John. Good seeing you as usual.
Bye, Mr. Idelson.
Have a good weekend.
You too.
So very cool. Very, very cool. All right. And our YouTube audience is quiet, guys. So I think this is a good time to wrap it up. Anything last going on with Mr. Harwood this week?
I'll mention that I probably won't be in next week because my event is Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, though it is Eastern time. I think it's from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern, so I might be able to make it in if I have any energy left, but otherwise I'll see you guys the following week.
Cool, right? Good luck with it.
Absolutely.
I would say the infamous break a leg, but you already know what that means, so that's good.
This particular event, I think I mentioned it's for the inane group. International Academy of Nursing Editors. And the lady who basically produces this, her company is called Maine Event, Maine, because she lives in the state of Maine. Actually, Main Desk is the name of her thing, not Main Event, Main Desk. She was one of my first clients at the beginning of the pandemic. Got a hold of me in a panic. Hey, I've got this 5-day webinar thing I'm going to do. I only know enough about Zoom to be dangerous. Can you come help me? And now I help her with 2 or 3 events a year. Yeah, so this is another one of those events. And I'm always happy to help her out. She is one of those people who, schedules some people for 30 minutes and some people for an hour. And if you're not done when the little stage timer rolls down to 0 and starts over at 30 minutes, she goes, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to cut you off. We're ready to go to the next speaker. And so I don't have to be the bad guy. She takes care of all of that. And she's very happy now that I use the stage timer app and, can let people see how much time they have left. We have very few offenders these days. They're staying on time.
That's another app idea. Thank you. Stage timer with automatic kick.
Yeah. So.
Hold on. Here we go, John. Ready?
That was the automatic kick.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Automatic kick. Ready? You want to give the automatic Q&A? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, Johnny missed his cue.
He missed
I
it.
didn't hit the button quickly enough.
All right. Here we go. One more time. There we go. All right. Cool. All right. It's time to wrap it up for this edition, and I'm going to kill John's share because I'm now sharing. I saw that it was there, so I was like, oh, let's have a little fun with that and do that before we do anything. Very cool. Anything new and exciting, Mr. Drinkwater, before we wrap it up? As I queue up the video here.
Well, I think I might stop using AI because every time I do, I either have to write a new app or it tells me I've got to produce a new show. So maybe I'll just stop using AI completely.
Yeah, or produce a new credit card because you've gone over your limit. No, not yet.
I've got enough food for the weekend, so I don't have to worry about that problem until Monday.
Nice.
Very cute. All right, Zoom Test Kitchen community. It's time for us to do some karaoke. Hello there, Hershey bar. Oh, look at that. You got a Hershey bar. You got an official sound effect with that one too. Look out. All right. And I promise I won't break everybody's eardrums. And I will get the audio level just so. And by the way, it is the identical same player that they use for sharing as they do in Production Studio. Just thought I'd let you know that too. It might be a little different variation of it, but enjoy.
Welcome to the Zoom Test Kitchen where the magic happens live. Every Friday we're on air testing tech to thrive. From screen share to breakout rooms, we push Zoom to its max. So sit back, relax, and let's see what's in our tech hacks. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the and tricks will open up your eyes. From polls to quizzes, we test functionalities. Join us live, see what Zoom does with these. So if your meetings lag, or you can't share your screen, or if your audio echoes like you're stuck in between, we've got solutions. We'll show you how it's done. Zoom Test Kitchen, where Zoom fun has begun. Zooming in, we're testing it all. We're on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. So tune in, don't miss out on this tech fest we lead. Every Friday, Zoom Test Kitchen, where you'll succeed. We'll make your Zoom meeting smooth, keep the tech in check. In the Zoom Test Kitchen, we've got your back. No We're the Zoom Test Kitchen, we've got your back. No
Guess what, gang? We didn't wreck this week. That's always our goal. No wreck. Thanks everyone for joining us this week on the Zoom Test Kitchen. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel to let YouTube know, which of course also lets Zoom know how much you love our content. We are here every Friday from 3 p.m. Eastern or 12 p.m. Pacific. And we usually go for these couple of hours, and we're right on at 6 o'clock. So we've been on for just over 3 hours. See everyone next week for another edition of the mighty, as they call it, Test Kitchen, Zoom Test Kitchen. See everyone over in the lounge.